Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for our last Gallagher Premiership Round 2 game that we are going to be covering on the channel. This game is going to be between the London Irish and Sale Sharks. Could be a very entertaining game as well. We've already seen a very high scoring round in some regards. A few upsets as well still been on the cards, and I will show the table in a very short moment. But I hope you are all doing well and hope you are all excited for this game as well. What we will do straight away is we will look at how the table is sitting after all of the games that we have out of round 2 so far. We have got Leicester and Harlequins, who have both been able to receive a bonus point win twice in a row now. Leicester sitting with a points differential of plus 22, sitting on the 10 points, and then Harlequins just behind them with that points differential of plus 16. Northampton getting a huge win over the Exeter Chiefs. So because of that, that means that they are going to be sitting in third, I should say. Worcester also getting a couple bonus points for one of their losses. So they are sitting on 7. And this side here, and also the side they are facing, that was a weird way of describing it, but London Irish at the moment sitting in 11th. They weren't quite able to get a win in their first round, but Sale Sharks, they were, and it was a very close game indeed, only winning that by 1 point up against Bath. But yeah, it is going to be a very entertaining game. How's it, lad, as well, says Ed Vogel. My voice still a little bit rough at the moment, as you guys can hear. I have done quite a few live streams in the past kind of, I guess, 24 hours or so, but we have got Crazy NZ in the chat as well. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Do let me know who is going to be winning this one. Who do you go for? In this one, it's tough because it is kind of that situation of the London Irish. They've got quite a few of these Southern Hemisphere players. Looking at it, Rob Simmons, also Adam Coleman, Augustine Creevy in the number 2 jersey, Albert Tuisu, we did see for Fiji a little while ago. So they've got quite a few of those guys from the Southern Hemisphere that I probably should be going for. But speaking of Southern Hemisphere sides, the Sale Sharks, boy, they have got some South Africans on their side. So it's a very tough one to choose. But do let me know, Ed, who you are going for. We have got Katie Dixon in the chat as well, has said, hey, howdy, hey, y'all. But nonetheless, we are only sitting a few minutes away from the kickoff. So I'm very excited for this game because of the fact I know a few of these players, which normally I'm a little bit rough for the Gallagher Premiership in terms of all of the names. But nonetheless, we will look at, first of all, that side, the London Irish, like I was mentioning a little bit earlier on. Now, a player who I've been told to look out for is Ollie Hazel-Collins. Now, apparently, he is a pacey young individual in that number 11 jersey. I'm looking forward to seeing him play, but also Albert Tuisu. I have seen quite a bit of him in the past, and he is a dangerous ball runner, just very strong, very physical. And Augustine Creevy, he loves himself a rolling ball if he can get the opportunity. And the two Australians, Simmons and also Coleman, will be trying to feed that ball back for him in that regard. Then looking quickly through the side of Sale Sharks, they've got, like I mentioned, quite a few South Africans, but a player to look out for in that backline, Manu Tuolangi, returning for the Sale Sharks after quite a long injury. He has been out for, so he'll be able to have a good impact off the kind of number 12 start. And whether or not they leave him out there for the full game, we will have to wait and see. But Ben Curry also very good in those loose forward trio. Of course, the twin brother of Tom Curry there as well. But we have also got there, hey, Hamish, hope you got lots of rest, man, as well, says Katie Dixon. Probably not as much as I should have. I ended up probably getting around 7 hours sleep or so, and then I'm hoping to have a big sleep tonight. And then I think we are going to have a Kiwi Lads gaming live stream coming up tomorrow night as well. We can see here the London Irish, they are at home for this game, and they look like they've got a few people in attendance. And Creevy, he will be open to make an impact in this game. The man in the number 2 jersey, he has recently been passed in terms of the most caps for Argentina internationally. Nicolas Sanchez able to take over in that regard, but he'll be open, maybe. Who knows? If he keeps on playing the way that he is, Augustine Creevy, maybe he'll try and get himself back in to that international kind of picture. Wayne Barnes is the referee for this game, the Englishman, and he will be hoping to be able to get into the situation of having a good game. Of course, we want to see these ones running smoothly, and that is something that both of these sides have the ability to be able to do because they are both pacey. They are both fast-paced sides when they need to be. And Manu Tuolangi, he has got a steer that is 1,000 miles at the moment, because of the fact he is focused, he is locked in, and he is ready to go. And now I will quickly go like this. But what we will do as well while we are at it, we will go like this, and we will go like this just for a moment while we are waiting for the kickoff as well. And I will fix this one for us just a little bit, so that is a little bit smoother for you lovely ladies and gentlemen. But it's about to be kicked off. London Irish kicking off from left to right in this match, and it is going to be the last match of round 2. Like I mentioned a little bit earlier on, both sides hoping to have a good start to the match, and Albert Tuisu putting it down, but it did go backwards, so it is still available for the me. I am quickly going like this, going like this, going like this, and now we go like that as well. Hopefully this will run all smoothly, and we will have that back up. There we go. We are good to go there. We have got there. I didn't know Adam Coleman played for the London Irish. I thought he played in France somewhere as well. Says Katie Dixon and Sharks score the first try, says Ed Vogel. Do let me know exactly what player you think it will be. My prediction, Manu Tuolangi, surely that man is going to be fired up for this game, but it's going to be a good tackle there on the number 15, Tom Parton, was getting driven backwards there. Going to the ground once again. It is in the position of the Sale Sharks, looking to use their backline. They're in the white for this match. Straight away, McGinty trying to break the line. And he did it very nicely indeed. 45 metres out at the moment. They're going to be using the big forwards, and that's something that these fellas from the Sale Sharks have in numbers. McGinty once again with the flat ball. Big hit there from Albert Tuisu, though, to be able to drive the man backwards. Chipping behind. It's looking like it's going to be sitting up for Sale Sharks, or is it? It's an awkward bouncing one. And it's going to be taken nicely by the London Irish halfback. White just outside of his 22 there. Afternoon, Katie, as well, says Hercules. And also we have got there, hey, mate, how you do as well, from Katie Dixon there. And I do see in the poll it is relatively even in terms of who you guys think will be winning this game between these two sides, which is always good to see when it does seem like it could go either way. But Sale Sharks in that first round, like I mentioned, just able to get the win. 1 point was the difference between them and the Bath side. And then it was actually, in the end, unfortunately, a loss for the London Irish, I should say. Oh, that's a beautiful turnover, though, for the Sale Sharks. I'm all over the place at the moment, but on the halfway line, and it's looking like it's going to be a nice setup. Backline, Manu Tuolangi, bit of a step going. Manu Tuolangi, inside ball, but he's just not quite going to have the pace. Offload, McGinty scores it between the sticks, and that is the first try of the match for the Sale Sharks. That didn't take very long at all. And it was, in the end, AJ McGinty scoring it between the post. Sale Sharks maybe as well, says Oldie in it there. But we will have to update the score sheet already. I wasn't really expecting to have to update it in only the first couple minutes of this game. But AJ McGinty straight out in front. We'll add him to the try scorers list for the Sale Sharks. Of course, 4 tries or more gets you the bonus point. But straight away, you got to give the credit to Ben Curry there to be able to turn that one over in the breakdown. Opens up the opportunity to use their backlines. As soon as Manu Tuolangi got that ball, he saw the gap, went straight through it, and then from there it was just an offload game. Went to, in the end, it was actually, it would have been Quirk who then passed it on the inside, and McGinty able to score it. And we will add him to that try scorers list. McGinty, that's a hard one to spell. Well, not really. I feel like I just messed it up a little bit there, but it's only 2 minutes into this game. And we will go like that straight down the middle as well. So now the score is going to be 7-0 to Sale Sharks in the early stages of this one as well. Woo, this game is on Peacock as well, says Katie Dixon. Also, we have got the good. How about you, Katie, as well, says Ed Vogel, and try Sharks. And the first blood going the way of the Sale Sharks. And they'll be open for a big win here because, of course, points differential could be important in the later stages of this competition. Parton now taking that ball, going for maybe a 50-22. It's going to be out on the full, though. So it will be going right back to where that man kicked it from, which he will not be too happy about, I wouldn't think. At the moment, just a little bit of a mistake early on from Tom Parton in the number 15 jersey for London Irish in this matchup. I'm excited. I feel like this is going to be a very high-scoring game. For some reason, I'm thinking around 30 or maybe even 40 points here for Sale Sharks, and maybe around 28 or so for the London Irish. We will have to wait and see. They're doing well. About to grab some breakfast at 8 a.m. here, as well, says Katie Dixon, because, of course, now time zones, it is 7 hours difference between Albuquerque and the New Zealand, which I do love about the halfway line now. At the moment, it will be Sale Sharks. White once again looking to the short side. McGinty passes it back across field. It's going to be a big run here from, it will be John O'Ross, but it's going back for the penalty. Or going back for the knock-on, sorry. And Coleman there, I believe, was the man who put that ball down. Puts the hand up and apologises there. It's got the green and the black headgear, of course. Has played a few games for the Wallabies, not very recently, but with the Gitto law being retracted, now there is that opportunity of these guys who are playing overseas to play for the Wallabies if they do get the call up. That is a brilliant kick downfield now, and it is going to be around 15 metres out that the Sale Sharks will once again be able to drive their way forward. But yeah, just ended up trying to make the tackle, and it was actually the deliberate knockdown penalty that it was instead of the just a plain knock-on. So Adam Coleman putting them under a little bit of early pressure here, Sale Sharks, and it looks like he's very happy at the moment, the man in number 2 jersey. I believe that is Taylor. Tommy Taylor. He was not supposed to be in the starting lineup, I believe. He was going to be on the bench, so I'm wondering what happened to Aka van der Merwe, but now it's going to be Manu Tuolangi once again, just driving out at line, only 10 metres out for the Sale Sharks, looking wide here. Going to be a skip pass, no, takes it on himself there, McGinty. And he was met by a good bit of defence there from the London Irish, dragged down there by, it was Paddy Jackson making the tackle there. Back across field once again. They are getting forced slowly backwards. London Irish. Creevy, has he got his hands on the ball? Not quite. Barnes tells him to leave it alone. Going now out to the left-hand side, out on the wing. It's going to be Yarde. Driving his way forward, just phase after phase at the moment. 7 into it for the Sale Sharks. Decent run, but getting driven backwards. JP Dupree. Back to the 22. Or was a very low pass, but he was able to take it very nicely. And now Sale Sharks. It's a great bit of defence, though. And Rona was able to make the tackle straight on it for the London Irish. Almost blowing the whistle there, Wayne Barnes. Now, right out short side, he has been able to keep the ball, and there is a huge amount of pressure here on the Sale Sharks. And now they are going to be sitting 30 metres out from the line of the London Irish. So good defence so far. They're building up to 10 phases now. But the defence is holding up, and they haven't given away a penalty advantage yet, which is something they need to make sure that they don't do, or else it could be a bit of trouble. Now it's going to be just kicked in behind by the number 13, and it goes into touch there. Rowe just watches it roll over the touchline. We have also got their second try from the Sharks as well, says Ed, and also one player to watch from both teams, says Ed Vogel. Now, it's a good question in that regard. I would say Manu Tuolangi in the number 12 jersey for the Sale Sharks, just because he's recently returned, but then also McGinty seems to be one to watch as well, as he was able to score that first try, and now it's going to be taken quickly here. Augustine Creevy trying to drive his way forward, but then I've also been told for the London Irish that Ollie Hazel-Collins is one to watch out for on that left wing side, and also Albert Tuisu, we know how much power that man has, would be one to watch for the back of the scrum if the London Irish get the opportunity, or just with the ball in hand, can make himself some plenty of meters. That's going to be taken very nicely by Yarde, and now he's going to be on the counter-attack for Sale Sharks. Driving about 40 metres out now. Oh, it's a penalty, though. I believe it was 2 men, one of them not rolling away, so that is why there is the penalty. And Yarde looks like he has stayed down here, which does not look good for the Sale Sharks early on. But Adam Coleman once again getting penalised. Not a great start for the Australian in this match. And not a good look here for Yarde. He is still down. And it looks like a relatively serious one. I'm looking at the bench here. I will show you guys the bench that they have decided to go with for this game, and we will put it up on the screen. There we go. That is the bench that the Sale Sharks have got. So more than likely Solomona might have to come out on the field if Yarde can't continue, which we are only 7 minutes into this game, 7-0 into this game as well. I believe we are just looking to see where Manu Tuolangi, the gap that he was running through, it was open well and truly for that man. He doesn't need a lot of space to be able to really step off that right. Pierces the gap, and then from there was a nice inside ball to Quirk, who then found the offload to McGinty, who put it down between the sticks for a little bit earlier on as well. But nonetheless, we are just waiting to see whether or not Yarde can continue. It looks like he is going to be staying out there for now. So we do hope that he will be all right for the rest of the match. So he is a very dangerous lot of pace as well. Just inside of the 22, it is going to be knocked backwards here and taken nicely by the man in the number 4 jersey, which for them, I believe, is Visa for this one. Now Manu Tuolangi once again getting the carry, but dragged down on the 22. But Sale Sharks have had all of the territory in this game so far. McGinty passes it back, looking for the offload, but instead takes contact in the centres. Now it will be Dupree trying to wrestle his way around Adam Coleman, who has been able to drag him down once again, going away to the left-hand side. And Dupree, that was Dupree. There's another fellow with gear that I thought was Dupree, but it's not Dupree, but that doesn't matter because it's a penalty against Dupree there. How many times did I say Dupree in that sentence? It was quite a few, but he has been penalised there, JP Dupree, unfortunately for him. Who else would have gear for them? Is it Cameron Neld, maybe? And we have got there Sebastian Hello. I think London Irish will just be able to pull it off at the end as well. Says Sebastian, so that is a bold prediction there, mate, but we will have to wait and see. I see on the predictions as well, 23 votes we have had, and 52% of you have said that the London Irish will be able to win this game. 48 have said Sale Sharks. It is extremely even in that regard, but they are showing that man Manu Tuolangi, he will be very happy to be back out there after quite a long injury, has left him out for quite a wee while, so he will be hoping to make a big impact, and he already has, finding that offload to Quirk, who was able to put McGinty through for the first try of the match. A little chip in behind here from the London Irish. Paddy Jackson looking for it, finding the offload as well, and now Sale Sharks once again going to have the possession. And someone in the background is getting up relatively slow as well. I think it is still Yarde, so he is struggling a little bit. I tell you what, they're going down the wing now, kicking behind, but it's gone straight into the hands of Paddy Jackson. Almost could have taken the mark if he wanted to, but it's a brilliant kick downfield by the looks of it, which will mean 45 metres out that the Sale Sharks will once again have the ball as well. Hey, brother, go London Irish as well, says Katie Dixon there. And I guess we should play the prediction game as well. So it is actually going to be Tommy Taylor who will be starting this match in the number 2 jersey. Originally on the team sheet that I did have, it was Aka van der Merwe So I'm not sure what happened to him in that regard, but I am going to say the next try is going to be scored by, tell you what, Manu Tuolangi's looking dangerous, but I'm going to say it's actually going to go out into the hands of Kyle Rowe to score the next one if it is the London Irish who scores it. Or I'll go Brian McGigan, on this near side. That was an ugly clean out on, I believe it was Paddy Jackson. Looked like he hit his head hard, and tell you what, Tommy Taylor nailed in the tackle by Coleman once again. He's made quite a few in the early stages, and now it's led to a turnover now. Quick hands from Simmons, offloading it to Albert Tuisu, dragged down to the halfway line. Once again, looking short side. They've got space on the outside. It's gone through the hands, though, unfortunately, and it's a knock on. Just wasn't quite able to hold on to it. Hepetema. And now it will be the scrum feed for the Sale Sharks once again. So almost the counter-attacking opportunity there for the London Irish. Big love sis as well. I really don't mind the Irish just by being another West London team as well, says Sebastian. And also thoughts on Warrior star Reece Walsh got arrested for cocaine possession. He also admits it as well. Says Ed Vogel. I hadn't actually heard that one, so that is news to me. But the fact that he admits it makes me a little bit concerned in that regard. But I guess it's one of those ones that, I don't think he'll be playing for the Warriors anytime soon. I wouldn't be thinking. And we have also got there from Fantastic Charisma. Hello, beautiful ladies and handsome gentlemen. I'm actually listening to the commentary while driving home. Enjoy the game as well. And hopefully I will be able to name quite a few of these players. I have messed up a few of them so far for both sides, but I do know that man, Manu Tuolangi, he is looking already having a few good post kind of contact meters and also finding offloads, which can put other men through gas. We have got there, I read that this morning, poor kid. He's only 19 as well, says it Katie Dixon. Right at the start of his career, unfortunately for him there. Tuolangi's happy at the moment. He's smiling, he's laughing, he's having a great time back out on the field for the first time in quite a wee while. But 11 minutes into this game, currently 7-0 for the Sale Sharks. And a match stat so far, 79% on the favour of Sale Sharks. So they have well and truly been dominated in terms of the position. But let's have a look at the previous results of this round so far. See who has been dominating out on the field. There's been a few close games. Leicester just able to beat Gloucester on the first day. It was on Saturday morning, and it was 33 points to 26. Then, looking through the Sunday results, 4 games took place at the same time. And the most surprising one was the one that we did on the channel as well. 44 points to the Wasps compared to the 8 of Bristol Bear. Harlequin able to get the win in the end for 35 to 29 over Worcester. Exeter Chiefs, they actually lost their game, 24 points to 26 in the end of Northampton. And then Newcastle able to get the win over Bath, 20 points to the 13 as well. But that one has gone down in the front row, but they are going to be able to continue here. It's going to be a backline movement. Rowe gets the carry there. He has been dragged down. Sorry, that was actually McGigan. I've got the wrong number 14 in that regard, and maybe he just wanted some chalk for better grip on the ball. Happens, I guess, as well. Says the passion there. Wide ball. It's a rough pass, though, and Curtis Rona stealing it back as well. And you can hear the London Irish crowd. They are happy to just have some possession at the moment. 40 metres out for what the London Irish drawing pass looking like was on the cards. Rogerson is dragged down. Once again, White going short side available. No, it's been knocked on once again by the London Irish, unfortunately, and I believe it would have been, once again, Hepetema, who hasn't quite been able to hold on to the ball, keep your chin up off the cocaine table as well. 19 is the perfect age to make all the bonehead decisions and then learn from them, though keep your chin up. Reese as well, says Katie Dixon, and the kid is already a father. He has a daughter, but too bad his good image, or good player image, will change now as well, says Ed Vogel. Like they are mentioning, there was an important interception for Curtis Rona, who was almost able to run away with the ball, but then straight away the Sale Sharks just swarmed him like there was blood in the water, and they were going for him, and they were able to shut him down on the halfway line, causing the mistake. But I will also mention the results, or the fixtures, I should say, for next week. Bristol taking on Bath. That will be an interesting game, seeing as Bristol Bears have been struggling just in the last little while. Northampton playing the London Irish. Leicester taking on Saracens should be a very good game to watch as well. Newcastle taking on the Wasps, Worcester and Gloucester, and then it is going to be Sale versus Exeter on the Monday morning at the same time of 3 a.m. here in New Zealand. But this is going to be the last live stream of the weekend for rugby, I believe, if I'm not wrong, that we are going to be doing on the channel. We might have a Kiwi Lads Gaming live stream tomorrow night. Big oof in the chat from Katie Dixon as well, but we have got ourselves another scrum feed, which is probably a little bit of a nice spell for the London Irish, as they have been on defence for a lot of the early stages of this match, only having around 30% possession so far. We'll certainly be wanting to change it very soon, but Albert Tuisu, he has got plenty of shunt on him. Maybe they will be able to get this one against the feet here for the London Irish, but it is going to be built in once again by Quirk. It looks like it is a very solid one. It's a bit of a push there for the London Irish to get enforced. Backwards there, or was almost available there. But the Sail Sharks kicking it in behind now. Yarde going to be waiting for this ball to sit up. It's an awkward one taken nicely, but a good tackle on it was Tom Parton. And it's a penalty to the Sail Sharks. Right, they are going to be about 25 metres out on the angle. Do they decide to kick this one for the corner? Go for maybe chasing another try, or do you take the 3 and get your team 10 points ahead, I should say? And hi, Amish. Hope all as well, says Steve Smith, and he has got the Kieran emoji in there as well. I am doing pretty well in that regard. My voice is slowly holding up. It seems to be, if I start talking for a little while, it starts to kind of build itself back up. But Kieran is still here. He is very flat at the moment. I don't know what's happened to him. I think maybe from when George was giving him a couple right hooks and left hooks the other day on that face-to-face interview, he's ended up losing a little bit of his kind of inflatedness. But I'll have to get the pump out and pump him back up. I hope you are doing well, Steve. At the moment, do let me know what the time is there, because I believe it should be 11 p.m. or 11:17 p.m. if it was still not daylight saving. But the daylight saving has confused me big time, but now it's going to be driving for, once again, the Sail Sharks. They are only a few meters out from the line. I believe Nelda's got the ball in hand somewhere. It's gone down only a couple meters short, and it's the penalty to the Sail Sharks once again. They did go aggressive, went for the corner as well. Hello, hope you're well as well, says Sebastian. And also, hey, brother, how you do, says Katie Dixon there. And thoughts on the latest World Rugby ranking as well, says Ed Vogel. Oh, I haven't actually seen how much of a difference we have got in that situation of how many kind of points ahead are the All Blacks over South Africa. I believe they will only be sitting about a 1 because it was considered a home game for New Zealand. But do let me know in that regard how much they have jumped. And also, I assume Australia were able to build their lead just a little bit more over England and Ireland, who were sitting in at 4 and 5, but taken very nicely by the number 4 for Sail Sharks, although he had an awkward fall on his knee. And now on the short side quirk there, forced into touch, or was he? Somehow he's kept that ball in the field of play. And Yarde now, he's got the man with him, goes himself, Yarde, and he scores a try. Oh, and he's almost been concussed by his own teammate. Unfortunately, he looks like he's still a little bit wobbly on his feet from earlier on when he did take a bit of a knock, but he has just scored that try for the Sail Sharks. Yarde, he had Tuolangi with him. He decided, nah, don't need him. I will just go myself, and he was able to score it. And that is already 2 tries in this match. And it was Marlon Yarde. But they are quickly going to be checking this one as well, because he did look very close to the touchline a little bit earlier on, the number 9 Quirk. So they are going to be just checking whether or not he was able to keep this ball. And if he was, he's done absolutely incredibly. We can't see there, but I think as he dropped it off in time, it's whether or not the foot was going to be, okay, this is a perfect camera angle. Tell you what, whoever's holding that, get out of the way, ref, or it's going to be the referee's just in the wrong place at the right time. We've got another camera angle. I'm looking at it big time here. He's got an awkward bend. He's somehow been able to release that ball before going into touch. That is just absolutely brilliantly done here to be able to release the ball before he goes into touch. And that is going to be a try to Yarde in that situation. Surprised he still got the mustache. I thought that would be gone by now as well, says Steve Smith. Yeah, luckily, this part is actually growing back just a little bit more. So the mustache on those first couple of days, it was pretty much completely standing out like a sore thumb. Okay, he has let go of the ball. This is going to be a try for Yarde, and it will mean that it is going to be 14-0 now to Sail Sharks as he is about to take the kick, and it is straight out in front, and it will be going straight down the middle as well. And as well, try as well, says Katie Dixon. He lost control. It's a knock on as well, says Katie Dixon. Or it was actually a man right next to the touchline. I call him Quirk, but it might be Quirk, hey, maybe. But he was quite close to the touchline, and then he was able to flick it back on the inside somehow. I don't know how he did it in terms of being able to keep that arm up. I'm kind of making weird gestures at the moment with my arms up. We have got there. Can't complain, just another day. How about you? Hope all is well on your end as well, says Steve Smith. And also we have got there, hey brother, how you do, a little bit earlier on from Katie Dixon, which was the response there, I believe, if we're not wrong. But now, it's a penalty to London Irish, and Augustine Creevy, he is a happy man. He wants his side to be able to get the win, but it is going to be a penalty against, I believe it was Sam James. They are actually going to be taking on the kick for the corner. I thought for a second they were saying that they were going to take on the 3, but that is not what they will be planning. They need to make sure they can get themselves back into this game. Paddy Jackson kicks it for the touchline and about 10 metres out now. It will be Augustine Creevy. Mentioned he loves a rolling ball earlier on. Can they get themselves one here for the London Irish. What's your score predictions as well, says Thomas Leary? I said a slight score before the match, and I was a little bit hesitant in that regard, but I said, oh, that's going over the top there, but London Irish, oh, I'll tell you what, a big flying boot there from one of the Sale Sharks players, wasn't quite able to connect, but I said it would be around 40 points to the London Irish, and I believe I said 28. Oh, no. Ben Curry just took a massive head knock there, but he's got back to his feet. He's managed to fall down, though, so that he can avoid being in the way. But yeah, I said it was 40 to 28 in the favour of the London Irish as well. And that's going to be a penalty. Quick tap taken. He's scoring the try. Or is he? They're going upstairs, but it might be the try here for Ben White, the halfback. May have been able to get it straight back for the London Irish, and I believe he has. There we go. Ben White was a penalty in the end, only about 10 metres out. Decided to take the quick tap. No one was back to him, and he was just able to run his way all the way to the try line, ladies and gentlemen. We have got a game on our hands here. I said that I thought it was going to be a high-scoring one, and we are already 20 minutes in to this game, or 17, I should say, and London Irish there. But Ben Curry, I believe he will have to go off the field for an HIA. The way that he fell there did not look very nice indeed. But then from there, Ben White just taking the quick tap, driving his way over the top of Tommy Taylor, which is an impressive one there. Kicks it down the middle, and now the score is going to be 7 points to the London Irish and 14 to Sale Sharks as well. And not too bad. Bit tired, that's all. Hope all is well in New Mexico as well, says Steve Smith. And also we have got there, the coffee is brewing, brother. The eggs are frying. The rugby is on. Life is good. Oh, yeah. And the London Irish just scored a try from Katie Dixon there as well. But Ben White, his third try in 47 premiership matches as well. So he's done very nicely to be able to get over the line in that regard. But now we have already had 3 tries in the first 18 minutes of this game, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be high score by the looks of it. Maybe I've even said 40 to 28. Could be too little. Oh, Tui Sui's just put that one down cold, unfortunately, for the London Irish, 10 metres out, and that is not what they could afford to do in that position. Rugby rankings: 1 New Zealand, 2 South Africa, 3 Australia, 4 England, 5 Ireland, 6 France, 7 Argentina, 8 Scotland, 9 Wales, 10 Japan, 11 Fiji as well. So I assume, Argentina, they must not be that much higher than Scotland. So I believe next week, when it is going to be Argentina versus Australia, it will be considered a home game for Argentina, even though it's in Australia. So they may actually, depending on how that match goes, they could actually drop to 8th, I believe, if I'm not wrong there. But then whoever wins that game between New Zealand and South Africa, I believe, will be ranked number 1 at the end of this as well. Try ball as well from Katie Dixon. And good. Steve Smith said, I'm good, brother. Good as well, says Sebastian. But now we're going to have a scrum reset. Wayne Barnes going to be putting the front rows back down, asking for a little bit more stability in that regard. But they're in a perfect position here, Sale, to be able to really get a set play going. They've got Manu Tuolangi, who normally you need 2 defenders to mark up just to be able to slow that man down. So that opens up the opportunity out on the wing. You've got McGigan, out on one wing. Yarde, who has already scored a try in this match so far, out on the other. So it just depends on where they decide to go to. They've also got Sam James at 13, got a little bit of toe. So on this near side, they've got Tuolangi and James, and also they have got McGigan there. I'm wondering whether or not decides to pierce off the back there, Quirk. If they do get the opportunity, that was a decent push from London Irish. And the last scrum is just sitting at the back. It's not really going anywhere. He is going to this right-hand side. Now he's offloading it. Manu Tuolangi getting close to the line, only a couple metres short now for the Sale Sharks once again. Round the side, Quirk setting it up for the big forward. It's gone through the hands, and it's a penalty. It's going back for an offside penalty. Very lucky, because it was put down there by, I believe it was actually Visa, who did drop that one. Next try from the Sharks as well, says Ed Vogel. Who do you think will be scoring it, mate? Do let me know. If you say the name Tommy Taylor, I would probably believe you, because it is going to be a 5-metre line out now for the Sale Sharks. We haven't got there. I'm good, brother. Good as well, says Sebastian. Manu Tuolangi, like I mentioned, they've got to lure in a couple of the defenders. Great low tackle from White there to be able to stop him from driving the legs. The only recently returned legs of Manu Tuolangi as well, due to an injury. But now Tommy Taylor, he is going to have the opportunity to throw this ball in for the Sale Sharks. We'll be open to put this one straight down the middle and then get that rolling ball going for Sale. Once again, almost a little bit of a fumble. They're taking it nicely now off the back. It will be not a knock on, so they are going to be continuing in that regard. And I believe it is actually a different man on the field in the number 7 jersey. They've actually had a couple late changes compared to my lineup, because I did have Ben Curry at number 7, but it is actually Curry who is playing at 6 for this game. Another advantage, and they're going to be only a few minutes out. Going back once again, the gap opening up for McGinty. He did find the grubber there, and it's going to be the try. And it is going to be Sam James who was able to score it. And that is going to be their third already. Tell you what, they are scoring at a frantic rate. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we will have to add that one to the list as well. I believe they are just going to be checking this one once again just to make sure. But I believe Sam James has been able to get this one down and has been able to score it. But it was Quirk who went to McGinty. That grubber was beautiful off the left boot. And then it was Sam James in the number 13 jersey who was able to score it. Just gets enough of the toe to it to be able to have it as a legal kick there. Tell you what, 4 tries in the first 20 minutes. How high is this game going to be going at this rate? One more try would give Sale the bonus point. And they are absolutely on fire, like a perfect start to the day, or like the perfect start to the day as well, says Steve Smith. And also we have got there the rugby, the coffee, the eggs, the bacon, and the pancakes with the ball there as well. And third Sale try, not wasting time, are they? As well, says Sebastian, they are not indeed. We are currently sitting only 22 minutes through this game, and they have scored 3 tries. Ladies and gentlemen, they have been able to get the try of McGinty, the try of Yade, and also now the try of Sam James as well, and stay good brother as well in there from Steve Smith. Well, I mean, that's one of those ones. It's the only game tonight, and it is happening at 3 a.m. New Zealand time. This is well and truly woken me up at the moment because of the fact that in this game already, like looking through some of the previous results that we have had in this round as well, like you see here, the game between the Wasps, that was quite a high-scoring one. They were able to score a lot of their tries late, but this game, I don't think I've seen a game have this many tries in just such a short time, although the Exeter game, I believe Exeter scored 2 tries within the first 5 or 10 minutes, but then Northampton able to fight back just a little bit more in that regard, but it is going frantic, fast-paced game it is as well, says Ed Vogel. Yeah, not a lot of stoppages other than, I think we've had 3 scrums and other than that, couple lineouts, but we're going fast-paced, and now once again, just inside of their 22, it's going to be Sale. Have we seen a box kick yet? Have we seen a box kick? I don't think we've seen a box kick. We're about to see one, I believe, from, is it going to be Rafi Quirk? Have they changed another player here for the Sale Sharks? I feel like they've been telling me lies. That one's gone out, and it is now going to be a lineout, but he was inside of his own 22, so it did make sense there. Have I been saying the wrong man in the number 9 jersey? I feel like they've kind of lied to me in the starting lineup, so I'm going to have another look to see whether or not I can find out if I have actually got the right starting lineup here. But once again, London Irish, there is no time for stoppages here. We will have to do it when another team scores a try, which will be on only a couple minutes' time, the way that we are going at the moment. To protecting that ball. White now passing it back. The Australian Simmons and Coleman linking up there. 40 metres out from the line, but Sale Sharks straight on the ball, and they win themselves a penalty. How cool would it be if London Scottish promoted from the championship as well? Says Sebastian, I believe this year, if I'm not wrong, which could be often am, but I believe it is whoever is just the top. There is no final in that kind of championship. It is just whoever finishes top is actually going to be promoted. I could be wrong in that stat though. But I'm quickly going to see exactly who is out there for the London Irish and also for Sale, because I feel like there's been quite a few late changes for Sale in this game. So they have actually got Will Cliff at halfback, and I guess that is one of those ones that because of the factor of I not knowing the teams as well as I possibly should, I guess that does mean that is why I was getting those wrong just a little while ago, but it is going to be the line out once again here for them. So it is actually Will Cliff starting at 9. Also, they have got John Rossiday and then Sam Dugdale, who is going to be at 6, rather than Tom Curry, Ben Curry, rather than Cameron Neld was actually on my sheet as the number 6 starter for the Sale Sharks. And now, once again, it is going to be Cliff. Now that I know his name, I'm going to be saying it quite a bit on the outside, linking up here, close to the touchline. McGigan driven out there, and it is going to be the 5-metre line out now for the Sale Shark, and looking like a high-scoring game, says Steve as well. And I'm just wondering whether or not, I said for my score prediction, 40 points to Sale Sharks. It seems like they're going to have that by the end of the first half at the rate that they are going. So maybe 40 is going to be too little, but I guess over 40 points to the 28 of the London Irish was my prediction. I feel like I don't really know these teams well enough. Oh, a little bit of push and shove at the front of the line out here between those two men. And also, I'm just looking through their starting lineup to see whether or not there are any other changes that they have made that I didn't have on my original one. I believe everyone else is the same. It is just Will Cliff and also Tommy Taylor starting at hooker rather than Eko van der Merwe as well. But now driving forward, Albert Tuisu, 10 metres out from their own line here, the London Irish. And Ben White fires it back. And it will be kicked into touch by Paddy Jackson. No, it won't. It's close to the touchline. Yade now. He's got the man with him. Does he decide to use it? Hammersley was right there. Coleman has done the big hit, but now big drive from Yade with the legs. 22 metres out now for Sale. Once again, going to be firing this ball back. No, instead takes contact But they have got numbers on the outside. Ross now getting the carry. Creevy almost, yes, he does win the penalty, and he's complaining about it, even though he did win it. I think he was asking the question of the touch judge there. Defence, London Irish as well, and Augustine Creevy winning the penalty for his side. He is yelling about everything at the moment. He is fired up, that is for sure, for his side there. But 26 minutes into this game, and at the moment, we are sitting at the score of 21-7. So in this competition, it is 4 tries get you the bonus points. So Sale Sharks, they only need to 1 more. London Irish, they will want at least 3 more tries in this game, not just to try and give them the lead in this one, because you do get that bonus point for losing by 7 or less, but both of these sides will be wanting to get that full 4 or 5. The fact that all 4 Rugby Championship teams flew back in the to the Gold Coast in the same flight, imagine you're in the airport as well. So Vogel would have seemed like Christmas came early, I should say, all on the same flight as well. That would have been interesting, because I know that the South African side, the Springboks as they're known as, and also the Pumas, they were on the same flight from South Africa to Australia, which would have been an interesting one. But it looks like at the moment it will be Ben White who is down there, which isn't good news, as he is the only try scorer for the London Irish, and he doesn't look like he's in much comfort at the moment. It looks like he's got a very sore neck, just twisting his head. Whether or not he will be able to continue, we will have to wait and see. But it is once again another injury for these two sides out there. And I'll probably poop myself if I saw that as well, says Katie Dixon. It would certainly be a sight to see, because, I mean, you've got to think about the sides that they've got as well. You've got Big Brody Retallick, Ebenezer Beff, just a whole heap of towers of individuals. And then you've got the likes of Tani Alatupo, who is just an absolute unit of an individual as well. It would have been a pretty solid plane ride, I guess you could say there. But I assume they would have all been allowed to chat to each other, but it would have been maybe a little bit of an awkward one, depending on who you were sitting next to. And imagine sitting between Bongi Umanami and Joe Moody, quite the squeeze as well, says Sebastian. Yeah, there would have been a lot of space for the armrest. And I mean, if you were sitting in between them, I think you'd just accept the fact that they can have the armrest. I don't think you'd try and fight it. I think you'd just be like, right, boys, I'll kind of sit here like this, because I don't want to disrupt either of you. You know, I'll just let you do your thing, and I'll just sit here and at the middle all squeezed. But yeah, I'm sure that would have been a very fun play right we have got there. Do you think Richie is going to be selected for next week's game? It's a tough one, because I was actually talking to my dad about this a little bit earlier on, and I think we kind of came to the agreement, or I kind of said as well, I think if you're going to select him, you've got to put him at 22, but then it's one of those ones of what do you do with that 23 jersey? Do you give it to a centre like Tupai again, or does McKenzie slot into 15? Or sorry, into 23, or do you give it to a centre? Maybe Yuriko Ioane has to play 23, but then with the form that he's in, he probably needs to start. So it's a very tough one for us to try and predict. But I would say Richie Mo'unga, if he is there, he will be off the bench, just because of the fact he probably hasn't really had that much time training with the squad in a recent time. But on the 22 at the moment, it is going to be Sale Sharks. They have been told to use a Cliff. Will be allowed to kick this ball into touch. Let's Bongi Umanami and Joe Moody squeeze me until I pass out as well, says Katie Dixon. And now this ball just inside of the 22 of Paddy Jackson, London Irish, and he is going to be clearing it downfield. Hasn't found touch once again. I'm wondering whether or not that is a tactic, but if it is not working, because now the Sale Sharks driving forward at the line, but Paddy Jackson makes a big tackle on him there, passing it back across Cliff now, offloading Visa with the carry as well. 45 metres out now. A little kick in behind here. Cliff finding space, and he kicks it into touch as well. Decent bit of territory gain there for the Sale Sharks. And they sent me next to a hooker on the plane as well, says Sebastian. I'm sure that would be an interesting statement to see the reaction to in that situation. But yeah, I'm always kind of weary of how often I say it on live stream, and I don't know why. I think it is because of the fact that I feel like for people who kind of don't know the position's name, they may not know what's going to going on. And also YouTube, for their subtitles and everything, they will see that I'm saying it multiple times. Oh, it's going to be another penalty to Sale Sharks 10 meters out. So yeah, I'm not sure whether or not it is an allowed word, but I assume it is, because we are talking about a different type of hooker. Even then, it took a little bit of the hesitant approach. They are actually going to be kicking this one for the posts here for the first time in the match. Sale Sharks taking on the 3 rather than the full try. But Albert Tuisui hasn't had the best game so far, unfortunately for him. Straight on the ball, though. And it was the number 7, which for this one, it's not who I have at number 7, because I have Ben Curry down as my number 7. It is actually Oh, no, it's not him. One moment, we will get rid of that one because that is the wrong starting lineup. It is actually going to be Sam Dugdale, I believe. Although he's actually, is it Ben Curry? I thought he went off the field, or surely he would have gone off the field after getting almost knocked out a little bit earlier on in the match. And also, the word positions doesn't look well next to Hooker as well. That is true. It doesn't really help us out in the commentary side of it. And I always end up, even number two for me is still not 100% as a brilliant term. So I guess what else can you call them? The front rower, the middle fellow who throws the ball. I don't think anyone's referred to him in that manner, but that one is going straight down the middle for the Sale Sharks. And now the score is going to be 24 points to the 4 of the London Irish. So a good lead for them early on in this game. Very good lead, 30 minutes in, and we've already had a total of 31 points in this game. It's looking like we're going to get maybe 50 by about 60 minutes, I would think, is my little bit of a prediction there as well. But now Paddy Jackson once again going to be kicking off for the London Irish. They just really haven't been able to get their hands on the ball for long enough into this first half. It was a very good try for Ben White, the only try they've been able to score in this match so far, and it is going to be the try scorer, Ben James, kicking that one downfield. It's a great kick as well, close to the touchline. Now it's going to be Tom Parton trying to get back to the halfway line, going to be held up and pretty much carried there by the Sale Sharks. It's going to become a maul, and now all they need to do is stop this ball from coming out, but it is available here for the London Irish 40 metres out, and they will be able to use their back line that they have got. A very strong back line as well, taking the contact now. Straight away, though, it was going to be Robertson. Passing it back across, just using their forwards at this stage. It's going to be Marcel van der Merwe getting one of his first carries of this match so far. And Creevy once again getting driven back with the Sale Sharks defense so far, looking strong in the early stages of this one. Paddy Jackson with the short ball. And they are just not quite going anywhere at the moment. 7 phases in, going short side now. And White, though, Paddy Jackson trying to find that offload, the man trying to get it. And it's going to be an advantage now for them. It's White, offloads it into the hands of the number 4 Sale Sharks, and it is going back as well. Does Rugby Challenge, the video game, have all the teams and all the players, says Xavier Brown? Not quite. It depends on kind of if you've got a PC or also it would be a Xbox, because on Xbox, you haven't got the option of mods, but on the Xbox, you have got Super Rugby is licensed, other than the Sunwolves and also the Western Force. Everyone else in Super Rugby is licensed. The Premiership is licensed. And then international teams, you've got Fiji, Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, and England, I believe, are their licensed ones that they have got there for them. So other than that, though, I don't believe they've got too many other licenses. Maybe there's another one as well, I believe, that they have got another competition that I can't quite think of, but I know it isn't the French competition. And the Pro 14, Top 14 licensed European national teams, you need Rugby 20 as well, says Sebastian there. And did you watch UFC 266? I did not watch it, but I did hear about a couple of the results. Sounds like the fellas down under did all right overall with, I believe, Volkanovski was able to get the win over Ortega, and also Dan Hooker, I believe, was able to win as well, the fellow Kiwi. And we have got their, hey, mate, just joined. What is that score? 24 already, says AFL for Life. Tell you what, they are going at a frantic pace, Sale Sharks. 3 tries already in this game, including in the second minute they were able to score the first one with McGinty. Then it was Marlon Yarde scoring the second, and then the third one was scored by Sam James. But Ben White was able to score it for London Irish, and now they're just outside of the 22. And they will be able to build some phases together here, but they are once again going to be shut down by that defense. And it was Aviso who was trying to stop it. Coleman now in the carry. White looking to his right-hand side, going to give it back to Creevy. Paddy Jackson takes it in one hand. Rona now trying to break the line. Going back across, and they've said it's his 50th match as well for Curtis Rona, so he will be hoping that there will be a win in the 50th as well. Going back now, Coleman with a good attacking run, but great low tackle there from Tommy Taylor, still available. White passes it back to, it will be Parton looking for the step, going down pretty much where the last breakdown was as well. Around the side now once again, good phase play, and Coleman offloads it, and White's going to be a metre from the line, decides not to reach out, which was smart. Creevy over the line, and he scored the try now. And now it is back to a lot closer, ladies and gentlemen. Augustine Creevy was the man who was able to score. We all go like this, and we will have to add that one to the try scorers list. And that was very well done by Steve, or not Steve, that's not his name, but Ben White, I should say, because of the fact that he was able to just hold off for long enough. He was only about half a metre from the line, and it is so tempting to put your hands out and try and reach for that line, but instead just takes the contact, puts the ball back, and then from there, Creevy dives over the line and scores himself the try there We are still only 33 minutes into this game, ladies and gentlemen, and we have already had 5 tries so far. It's continuing to go up as well. Try, CC Smith in the chat. And also we have got there, what a treat, Monday, 3:30 a.m. and I couldn't sleep. More rugby commentary from the talented Hamish as well, says Quite Girl. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a good weekend so far with all of the rugby that we have had on. It has been a huge amount just with all of the competitions. The United Rugby Championship starting up. Also, top 14, we haven't really had the opportunity to do any live streams on, but we did watch a couple games just outside of this live stream. I've still been learning all of my players. I believe it was Biarritz taking on La Rochelle that I was watching a little bit of as well. And we have got there, is Nick Phipps playing any other Aussie, says Xavier Brown. Nick Phipps is not playing, but they have got Rob Simmons, Adam Coleman, and also Curtis Rona is another player for them who used to play, or who is Australian, I guess I should say. And then for, I don't think Sale Sharks have got any Australians at this stage, but Ben Curry now going off the field and head injury assessment. Tell you what, that knock was about 15 minutes ago, so I'm wondering what was happening there. And we have got their try as well, says Sebastian. But yeah, there has been plenty of competitions that have been going on around the world this weekend, and I've been absolutely loving it indeed. And now at this stage, it's going to be Langdon will be making his way out onto the field just while there is a head injury assessment for Curry there from an earlier knock that he did get. But now it is going to be Ben White once again, putting the ball high, chased hard. Taken nicely by Hammersley, but driven backwards in the tackle there by it was Hazel Collins, who was able to make that one and try from Sebastian there as well. Driven backwards. Good tackle there from Adam Coleman. Oh, sorry, that was actually Rob Simmons. I'm getting the two Australian locks confused there. Going short side once again. There's a few men with the overlap. Instead, McGinty tries to take it on himself. Driven down. Awkward fall for him as well. But it is still available to use. The big forwards driven backwards there. John O'Ross was hit hard by Coleman, who is just playing a very physical game so far, getting involved in pretty much any breakdown he can get himself to, but now it is going to be kicked high by, it will be Wilcliffe once again. There is another man down for Sale Sharks. They are dropping like flies, but now taken nicely. Oh, that's a late shot there on Paddy Jackson by McGigan. And now at this stage, is it going to be a penalty? He does have a little bit of a shake of the hand, and Creevy is right in there as well. Now there's still a bit of push and shove. Wayne Barnes is getting between them as well, and Creevy is not very happy about the man getting hit there. I believe it was Tom Parton, but now there is another player getting his head kind of held still. I believe he is going to be going off the field for Sale Sharks as well. Does Fuf de Klerk play for Sale? He does indeed, but I don't believe he will be available for their selection until around December or somewhere around there, which is about halfway through the Gallagher Premiership season. But while we have got this, unfortunately, it is going to be another stoppage in play due to a big injury by the looks of it. I'm just trying to see. I think it was actually McGinty. The way that he fell, I did say originally it looked awkward, the way that he went down, and I believe he kind of he got spiked on his neck by Van der Merwe, and because of it, he does not look too flashy here. He kind of tilted there awkwardly. I think they're going to go upstairs to see whether or not this is going to be a card. But for anyone who is wondering how the table is sitting almost after the first 2 rounds, Leicester and Harlequins both getting bonus point wins twice in a row for themselves, sitting on 10 points. Northampton sitting on 9 at the moment, and Worcester sitting on 7. But they have only had the 1 win, but they have been receiving quite a few bonus points in that regard, and they could be important in the later stages of the competition. But McGinty, he is going to be down for a little while, and it is a big shame because he has been playing pretty well in this match so far. But as you can see, just down there, Exeter and Bristol, the two sides who were top of the table last year, are now both sitting bottom because of 2 losses in a row. Exeter just losing to Northampton in the last round. I think his legs are above the horizontal there, and I think maybe Marcel van der Merwe could be in a bit of trouble for lifting him up because Coleman was dragging him down. And Van der Merwe, this is an awkward fall for McGinty because a prop is not a small man. That is a quote, ladies and gentlemen. And not just that, he also gets the hit from Coleman almost a little bit high as well. Oh, tell you what, that could be maybe a yellow card to Coleman here. This could actually be maybe not just 1 yellow card. It could be 2 yellow cards for 1 tackle. Is that possible? Have we ever seen 2 yellow cards for the same tackle, ladies and gentlemen? Do let me know. I've said ladies and gentlemen quite a few times, but now the fact that we have actually got ladies and gentlemen watching for these live streams as well is pretty awesome. Scots will always remember Nick Phipps and Craig Jalbert in the 2015 Rugby World Cup. It still hurts as well, says Steve Smith there. But at least AJ McGinty is on his feet. They are going to be reviewing this right. So Adam Coleman, he comes in, he's wrapping the arms, but he has made contact with the kind of neck of AJ McGinty, and then from there he's kind of picked up by Van der Merwe and then spiked. So could we end up with 2 yellow cards here? Because he does get lifted above the horizontal. Have we? I don't think I've ever seen 2 yellow cards. So this could be 2 yellow cards. Back with coffee as well. What did I miss? Says Katie Dixon. A interesting tackle, to say the least here. So pretty much AJ McGinty, the number 10 for Sale Sharks, he has been whacked by Adam Coleman and also Marcel Finamurva. And I'm wondering whether or not it is possible for 2 players to get a yellow card at the same time, because that could be what we've got. Adam Coleman goes charging in, and I believe it is actually the ear that he does strike with first of the shoulder. He was wrapping, but it is just a little bit high, and he was also coming in from a large kind of distance. And then another player tackling him. And then he's got a bit of a drop. Okay, there's a yellow card for just one player here, and I believe it is going to be Adam Coleman, who will be going off the field for the London Irish. OMG, just back in time for the yellow cards as well. So he is going to be going off the field, Adam Coleman, for that little bit of a shot on AJ McGinty. I almost thought for a second they were going to be going for 2. Adam Noah as well, says Katie Dixon. I always worry when we do see Australians and New Zealanders getting sent off the field, because they are normally the names that roll off the tongue for myself. But then I end up losing them in that regard. But of course, going for the London Irish here, Katie. You will not be too happy seeing them down to 14 men. But AJ McGinty, it is good to see that he is still on his feet. We're up to 39 minutes here on this score, but we're only up to 36 on the actually one as well. Is there a good law for Europe national teams as well? Says Xavier Brown. That is a good question. I believe that all the kind of Europe teams, or at least England, I believe it is something along the lines of as long as you've played some club level or above rugby. I could be wrong in that regard, though. I think the Australian Ghetto law is one of the kind of unique circumstances around the world in that regard for international players to be able to come back. But now Tommy Taylor with this one, 15 metres out here for the Sale Sharks. Going to the front, taken nicely. And now it is going to be set for the rolling maul. Tommy Taylor, he'd love to pick himself up one of this rolling maul, and it's starting to march forward here for Sale. Getting close to the touchline. It is going to be going down, and it's available. They've got the advantage as well. Cliff going short side, jumping over his own player, and he scores a try there, Cliff. Very sniperish from the number 9, and he has been able to score it there, and we are going to add that one to the try scorers list as well, and it is going to be Cliff, and they have already got a bonus point, and we are only sitting 36 minutes through this match, but he saw a bit of a gap there, hurdled his own player, and then from there, he was able to score it. Very smart play from him there. Tell you what, he almost cleaned up the big lock there. Was able to snipe it, and Cliff was able to score it. And tell you what, he was a player who I didn't even realize was out on the field when this one first started, but Will Cliff has been able to score that one. And he wasn't actually on the kind of team sheet, I believe, at the start of this match, if I'm not wrong. I actually have him down as Raffy Quirk. So I'm not too sure what happened to him, but Cliff being able to score himself a try, and he will be very happy with that indeed. And now it will be McGinty who will be taking this kick as well. I'm wondering how long they will risk him if he has got a little bit of a head knock. 4 from 4 so far, and they have already got the bonus point as well. And we have got there in the chat on Wide Awake at Stupid O'Clock, and was thrilled to see this live commentary. Good to see you as well, says Quake Girl. And also we have got there, Adam, you are a very large man. You must control your rate of smash as well, says KD Dixon. Also, that's normal o'clock around here as well, says Steve Smith. It is indeed on the channel. Tell you what, 3 a.m. live streams have become almost a daily occurrence on the weekends. Although we did do that one last night, and I think that was the furthest through the night that I have actually done one. McGinty's got that one straight down the middle, though. Very nicely done by him. And now the score is going to be 31 to the Sale Sharks, but he is down once again, McGinty. And he looks like he's really having some trouble. He's going to have to go off the field. They don't want to risk him here. And it looks like he's kind of clinching at that kind of tendon there. After kicking it, I think it was the arm swinging, and he does not look too happy. AJ McGinty at the moment, and also you legend, Stupid O'Clock. Stupid O'Clock, you crack me up as well. Good to see you too. And this is devastating for London Irish. The comeback is quite far away now. It is indeed. They are going to have to get themselves quite a few more tries. But at this rate, seems like they will be able to get themselves possibly the chance of, they are going to be making the sub. The number 22 is about to run his way out there, but then they've been like, yeah, mate, you got to come back for just a little bit longer. And I believe in this one, Kieran Wilkinson could be the name there. Might be him. Interesting. Okay. So it's an interesting call. So what they have just said there, they are saying that he's going off for an HIA, a head assessment, so that he can work, or he can have his shoulder worked on, and then they are still allowed to bring him back out. That's kind of interesting that they have decided to use that HIA to their advantage. I haven't really seen that used before We have got there, McGinty is not doing good as well. Now his shoulder is all crunchy as well, says Katie Dixon there, but it is going to be kicked off by Paddy Jackson, kicking deep into the 22. Only 30 seconds till we get to the first half being over, and we have already had 6 tries in this first half. We have been well and truly blessed with the amount of tries we've been able to see in this one so far. But now it is going to be kicked high by Cliff, the try scorer. Will Cliff, that is. It's going very high yard. Or did he take him out in the air? I think maybe he did a little bit. They haven't got the advantage. The crowd are booing as well. They are talking about it, the referees, but they haven't given anything. I thought it would have been an advantage for Yade taking out Parton, or that's not the name, Parton. Now, okay, now they have said that it is going to be the penalty advantage for getting taken out in the air. Little chip of mine now from wide. It's going to be taken there by the London Irish almost. Now it's going back for the penalty as well for Yade. Taking the player out just a little bit too early. Parton went up for it, and then it got nailed in the air there by Yade. But talking about kind of the scores and whatnot, we were talking about these ones earlier on for anyone who was interested in the Bunnings NBC as well. It is actually a few interesting results today. We saw that Hawke's Bay were able to get the win over Wellington, and they weren't supposed to in that game. They were the underdogs. And then also Taranaki, they had a brilliant game up against Bay of Plenty, and were able to get themselves their 4th win in a row now for them in that competition. They are well and truly flying in the championship. We have got there. At least the rugby players don't milk the injuries like in football as well, says Steve Smith. Yeah, at this stage, I mean, it's one of those ones, when these rugby players go down, you know that something is seriously wrong, because some of them, like, they play on when, like, they are just in a huge amount of pain. So it is very respectable. Yeah, well, this is an interesting choice here. Paddy Jackson at this stage has decided to take on a kick on the angle from about 40-something meters out. Now, if he can kick this one, it would be very impressive, but I'm wondering whether or not it is the best option into the situation. Come on as well, says Vincent Jacobs. And also we have got the exactly 3 exactlies from Katie Dixon there. But Paddy Jackson looking straight into the sun as well. This guy, 53 meters out, is taken on this one. Does 2 yellow cards mean you get a red like soccer, says Xavier Brown? It does indeed, and we did see it actually in effect when it was Brad Shields yesterday in that game between the Wasps and Bristol Bears. He ended up getting a yellow card for dragging down a maul. So he was off the field for 10 minutes. Then he returned, dragged down a maul again, got another yellow card, so it became the red, and then he was off for the rest of the game. Paddy Jackson, he's missed that one. And that one's going to be going just a little bit wide, and that means now at halftime the score is going to be 31 to the Sale Sharks and 14 to the London Irish. I'm looking at the amount of tries we have. We're going to get 19 by the end of this one if we're not careful. Ben White, Augustine Creevy scoring the 2 tries for the London Irish. And then the Sale Sharks try scorers, AJ McGinty in the 2nd minute, although he has now just gone off for a HIA slash. His shoulder was sore, so they're going to massage it a little bit and see if they can get him back out there. Yarde, and also it was James and Cliff who were able to score the other 2. Wasps and Bears didn't display this, didn't it, as well, says Katie Dixon, and did display this, didn't it, as well, says Katie Dixon. It did indeed. I rewatched the AB's games all fancy, like on the TV as well. Even though I knew the score from Hamish's live cast, I still cried like a baby when Geordie kicked the final points. God, I'm hopeless as well, says a great girl. And said, tell you what, it was a very awesome moment for a lot of All Black supporters, because it came down to the wire, and that game just seemed like it could have gone either way pretty much from the start, because of the fact Will Jordan scored in the early stages, and I thought, okay, this is seeming like it's going to be a very high scoring one. Then only a couple minutes later, it was Seba Nkosi who was able to score the try, and then I was like, okay, right, we're going to have a very high scoring one. And then they were the only tries we had in that match, and it just went down to just continuing to just have a very close kind of encounters throughout the rest of it. I've clicked on to get some stats about this match, and straight on my screen, it's a massive headline: Barrett praised for clutch kick. He'll be the guy that won the 100th as well, is the headline. Tell you what, that was kind of weird timing in that regard, but we will get some fixture stats about this one. I would assume we're going to get to see Sale Sharks having a huge amount of possession, 65% in this one so far to the 35 of the London Irish. Meters carried, they have had an extra 80 with 114 to the 34 of the London Irish. And it's actually, this is an interesting one. London Irish, 9 defenders beaten to the 4 of Sale Sharks. So even though they have had a lot less of the ball, they have been able to beat more defenders. So that is looking probably the most promising stat for them in that regard. 11 missed tackles, making 40 is not great. 25 tackles made by Sale Sharks, and just the 1 missed tackle so far in this one. But they are doing very nicely indeed. It's a mood caddy as well, says great girl. Oh, I definitely got to cry to the Geordie Barrett Disney moment as well. And I know, right, rugby, it's a real man's game as well. in there from Steve Smith. Speaking of, in terms of the amount of rugby we've had recently as well, I will just quickly show the table once again so that everyone knows where everyone will be sitting. So if Sale Sharks win this game, I'm trying to get my finger in the right direction. That is why it disappeared. Right, this one here. That one right there. It is going to be Sale Sharks. If they win this game, they go right up here. And they move up to, I would say they will move up into about that third place position as well. Why does my hand always look purple on the camera? I know my circulation's not the best, but tell you what, it looks really bad on there as well. Anytime I show it, I think it's the lighting as well that does not help me out in any regard there. But looking through the fixtures next week, I'm not sure how many times they have shown this yet, but Sale playing Exeter, that's going to be an exciting game. And also the other side that we are seeing here, London Irish going to be taking on Northampton. Unfortunately, though, we do not get to see that game here in New Zealand, but we will be hopefully covering that game between Saracens and Leicester, which should be also a very good fixture indeed. We have got there. My sister played keeper in soccer in middle school and high school, and she was a beast. Took cleats to the face on the regular, and she still has the scars. She could outplay those dingbats as well in there, says Katie Dixon also. But yes, rugby is the best sport on the planet with the 10 and the also the 100 emoji as well, says Katie Dixon. And Munster rugby left you Sharkies toothless. What a win as well. Tell you what, it was, I have to say, at least it was a little bit closer than that game between the Bulls and Leinster, because I thought for a second we were going to get to see, at one stage I mentioned a stat, which was we hadn't seen a South African try for 154 minutes for South Africa. And it was one of those ones. But Munster, they look strong. That was one of the first games I had seen from Munster in a little while. They are very capable in that loose forward trio with O'Mahony. Also, number 7's name I should be able to remember. It was Coombs in the number 8 jersey. Number 7. You're going to cry here. Possibly Kanakoinen, or you'll be very upset with me because I haven't been able to remember him. The number 7 from the match yesterday. I'm trying to close my eyes. It's not coming to me, though. Munster's number 7. It was O'Mahony. Coombs, who was able to score 2 tries. There was a man in between them. That number 7 jersey. You might have to help me out here. Kanakoinen. Yeah, it's not coming to my mind, unfortunately, but I will see whether or not I can get some stats up in terms of the player stats as well. Girls with big tools. Happy days here again. Sales is good as well, says Heinrich in the chat, and they are doing very nicely indeed. They are doing a great job in the early stages of this game. They've already secured themselves the bonus point, which is absolutely insane. The fact that this game has only been going for 40 minutes and we've already had a total of 6 tries, ladies and gentlemen. I said before the game my prediction was going to be Jack O'Donoghue. That is the name. He was very fired up in that match as well for the Munster side. But yeah, I feel like those names, I'm slowly getting the hang of them as I go. Although probably you will be disappointed. Give me a random number between 1 and 15, Kanakoinen, and I will see whether or not I can remember the Munster player who played in that position. If I get it right, surely I get some sort of prize. But I feel like I will more than likely get it wrong because I can't think of too many other players other than loose forward trio. We have got there. I know you said soccer. Don't do that as well as Steve Smith. And also we have got there Jack as well in the chat from Katie Dixon. But looking at some of the kind of running stats and whatnot, 76, or that's a lie, that's 26 meters carried for Riade in that first half. 5 carries, 3 defenders beaten and 1 clean break as well for the Sale Sharks. And then also, so other than that, though, 14, I believe, is the next highest in that regard. And also 6 tackles is actually the highest as well. So we haven't really had, okay, Kiwi, let's guess who was 10. 10 for Munster. He would have been kicking most of the night, first receiver. Unfortunately, McGinty's coming to mind, but that's because he's playing in this game. Also, number 10, eh? Number 10 for Munster for that game. I'm trying to think of what he looked like. How has this happened? I feel like it was because of the fact that that was like a 9 a.m. live stream that I hadn't gone to sleep. Forgive my American slang as well, Katie and her kids. Mum, crazy, yes, as well, says Heinrich. Number 10. Do not tell me it will be an Irish-sounding name more than likely. I assume he is Irish. It's not Paddy Jackson, though. He is the London Irish. Number 10. Surely I can remember this one. Number 10 as well. He was born in Auckland. Oh, no, that makes it worse. That makes it worse. I'm disappointed in myself, kind of. Does he have here? Yeah, he does. I'm thinking of Zebo out on the wing. I know the number 11. I was fingers crossed that you were going to say number 11 because I would have been able to get him. Number 10. I'm thinking of another player, unfortunately, that's not who it is. I can tell you the number 10. Unfortunately, Chamberlain is the number 10 for the Sharks. This number 10 for Munster. It's going to annoy me. I'm not looking that way, just so you guys don't think that I am cheating in that regard. I am just looking straight at my wallpaper going, you've had this wallpaper for a long time, but you can't think of the number 10 for Munster. I feel like there's a lot of silence at the moment, but anyone who was wondering how many tries have been scored in the first half, it is 6. Accumulates, did you sleep? Because you don't look good as well, says Heinrich. I ended up getting about 7 or so hours of sleep. Really, he is here. What a guide as well, says Kanakaida. And also, we have got there. Also, Hamish, can you remember the name of the famous Munster and Ireland lock, which I mentioned yesterday? Says Sebastian. Munster lock. Oh, no. It's a crime where I grew up. I had to call it soccer, that's all as well, says Steve Smith. Starts with a J. Now I'm thinking Johan Husson, but he is the number 10 for the Bulls. I've got every other 10 in the whole competition in that regard. Number 10 starts with a J. Jaden, no, it's not Jaden. Jordan, no, that's Jordan Hendricks. So here's the number 10 for the Lions. I can think of pretty much every single fly half that I have watched in every game other than this man now. Number 10 starts with a J. Last name starts with a J, I assume that is. Jackson something. Jackson, no. Jackson, no. I don't know. I'm sad now. I can't think of it. And Jamish as well. Says Kanakainen. And also there, All Blacks beat Springboks in 100. But they are, or they, the Boks, so slowly pace this game down the drain as well. A note says Kanakainen. I'm going to have to come back to it as well to be able to get that one. Jackson, no, it's not Jackson. I promise I will never say the word soccer in Australia or on Australian soil as well. Says Katie Dixon there. May I get the last name first letter as well while we're at it? I will quickly. I'm not changing any screen. That is still on the kind of stats for each person because at this stage, Ben White was able to get himself 6 tackles made, 1 turnover 1 as well, and also 6 for Yevisa and at 1 turnover 1 as well. It's 4 a.m. here for Hamish's brain is at this time of the morning as well. Says Great Girl. I feel like you guys can see the cogs just through the side of my temples just trying to turn, trying to get that name to come out. P. No, it was J. It was J. Forget about football anyway, sis. Gods, given sport is Forsters. Say Forsters, I dare you. Forsters. Harold Forster was in the number 12 jersey. Oh no, sorry. Say Forsters. I dare you as well. Forsters. I want to bleed it out as well. I feel like you guys are yelling at your screen. You just go and say the name. It starts with a J. We have got there. Do you remember Docker? Callahan, he used to be great, moved to Worcester, and after he left Holland as well. I do remember O'Callahan because of the fact I think I said it very strange at the start, and I didn't try and pronounce that first name because I thought I would get it well and truly wrong. Is it Donker? Something along those lines. They brain wheels were spinning as well, says Great Girl, and also Two True Fam as well, says Katie Dixon. And at this stage, we have still got ads, so I've got plenty of time to feel bad for myself because I can't think of that name. It starts with a J. Jaden, Jordan's starting to twitch something, but it might not be Jordan. Carvery. Jaden, no, Carvery. First, Joey Carvery. Joey Carvery. Sounds like Cavalry as well, but says Katie Dixon. I pretty much had to be gifted that one in that regard, but Joey Carvery. I feel like I want to give myself a round of applause, but I feel like it's not really that impressive that I had to have pretty much spelled out for me into that regard. I'm not yelling, I'm laughing with sympathy as well. Yay, Hamish, says Katie Dixon. Yay, we did it. We were able to get a name. You got it as well there. Says Kana Coin in. We got there in the end, ladies and gentlemen, but we are still at halftime at the moment. We've got the clapping as well from Quake Girl in the chat as well. But yeah, this stage, we are only moments away from the second half getting back underway. And yeah, it's going to be a high-scoring one. I said my prediction before this game was 28 points to the London Irish, 40 points to Sale Sharks, but 40 from here is not going to be possible. I believe they will be taking on the 3, so I think it's 40 plus. I'm still impressed as well, says Great Girl, and also give this man a cookie as well, says Katie Dixon. I would well and truly accept a cookie, halftime entertainment as well, says Sebastian. And we have got the cookie there on the screen. I tried to grab it, but it doesn't quite work. Unfortunately, one day, probably technology will come that far and we will be able to grab cookies through the screen as well. But nonetheless, we are sitting 4:05 a.m. So I feel like at 4:05 a.m. getting a first name by myself, although I only had to get 75% of the name. I guess I already had the J that started it. Didn't do too badly though. He is a living legend as well. Best known for playing with no shorts in in a game once. Says Kanakon, and that's an interesting factor indeed if he did decide to do that. But looking through the benches as well for you guys who are just tuning in now, wondering who's going to be coming off the bench for either of these sides. We have got it here. And both sides have got some pretty decent players. Sale have already had to make a couple changes. Dugdale is out there already as he was starting the match due to a little bit of an injury to Cameron Neld, I believe it was, or something along those lines. And then Wilcliffe, he actually started the match as well. And Wilkinson is now out there. And that is because of the injury in the later stages of that first half of AJ McGinty, who was able to score the first try in the second minute as well. Very impressive from that man. Ben White's been playing well for the London Irish, I have to say. And also, the player for the London Irish that I said to look out for, it was Ollie Hansel-Collins. He has hardly touched the ball. He's had it once. And other than that, just hasn't quite been able to get their hand on the ball and to be able to do too much as well. Yes, let's invent the replicator from Star Trek as well, says Katie Dixon. That technology would be awesome. It would indeed. To be able to just reach through, like, imagine like a Pizza Hut ad or something on the TV, right? And it's got a big button and it's like, or even it's like on your remote, press red to order now, and you just press the button and then you just reach through the screen and grab it. That would be very easy. People would spend a lot of money on things like Uber Eats, or the Uber Eats would go bankrupt because you could literally just get it through your screen as well. Rugby game with no point. Someone get New Zealand rugby on the phone as well, or no pants. Sorry, I got an idea for the 2022 season as well, says Katie Dixon. And also, you would cringe if you saw what he was wearing underneath as well, says Kanakoin. And I'm not sure. I feel like I need more information now in terms of that. I don't think I want to look it up, though, by the sounds of it. We have got there. I remember that, brother. Good people on the Kiwi Lads chat, I should say. Check out Donka O'Callaghan, or Callahan, sorry, because he was awesome as well, says Sebastian there. So far, this game has been pretty awesome as well. We've had a lot of tries for this one. Do let me know who you think is going to score the first try of the second half. I am going to say it's going to be Manu Tuolangi. I will give that man a try. Or if it is for the London Irish, I am going to say it's going to be that number 11, Ollie Hansel-Collins, because he's hardly at the ball, but if he does get it now, I think he is going to be at that one. Starts Googling as well. It's a great goal, but it is going to be now kicked off by Paddy Jackson. He missed a kick right at the end of the first half. That would have made it only a 14-point difference, so they are going to need at least 2 more tries. That would get them the bonus point for getting 4 or more tries in this game, but then from there, they'll continue to try and build here the London Irish and try and get themselves back for a win as well. We've seen big comebacks in this Gallagher Premiership. One that comes to mind straight away, Harlequins Bristol Bears semi-final of the Gallagher Premiership. And I hear now AJ McGinty is not coming back out onto the field, so Wilkinson will be staying out there for the rest of the second half. So that raises the question, who will be the kicker now for them in this situation? Now driving forward the rolling maul off the kickoff here. Sale Sharks making about 10 meters at least now. Creevy trying to get through the middle. It's still going here. This is driving forward like it is a train at the moment for Sale. They're breaking off and they are still going a little bit isolated, and it's going to be the advantage. They have been able to make about 20 meters with the rolling maul there, and now breaking off the back, offloading it back up into the hands of Cliff. Wide ball, Manu Tuolangi, quick hands there. Nicely done. A little bit of a juggle for McGigan as well, but they are going back for the penalty. We have got their teleportation as possible. Maybe one day Hamish as well, says Steve Smith, and also quite aggressive on the field, humble, and kind of off the field as well, says Sebastian, and also at least the Tigers mean a business this season, says Kanakoin, and they do indeed. They were able to win that Challenge Cup last year in the final. They beat Montpellier, if I'm not wrong. I just have to say, look at all those lovely emojis as well. Although that the second one from the left, is that I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's something kind of fancy. But is it no, I was going to say it's a caramel, but my brain, I feel like this is going to be like the Munster number 10. What is one of those called? I can't think of it. I think it is one of those. It's a relatively fancy food, isn't it? If I'm not wrong there. We have got there. There's no clock on Coleman's yellow card on the screen. Is it the full 10 minutes from the start of the second half? I believe at this stage it is. Once we have another stoppage of play, he will be allowed to come back out onto the field, if I'm not wrong there, as I do not see him quite yet, but I think he is well and truly only a couple minutes away, because I think it was in about that 33rd minute that he ended up hitting him as well. Tigers and Quins with 2 bonus point wins so far. I told you I'm waiting for the game between them as well, says Sebastian, and I'm wondering what round that will be taking place. Do let me know if you know, but if you do not, I will get it up for you in just a very short moment. But Sale Sharks once again going to be driving forward to their man and the number 4 jersey there, which in this one is Cobus Visa. Nice, a flat ball spinning out of the tackle. Ben James still available for them. Going short side once again. They have got an option on the outside. Stepping back now. Once again, then number 15 there, which is Hammersley, going back across now using the big forwards. Bevan getting closer and closer to the line now. Wait a minute, is that name Bevan? Because if that name's Bevan, that is a different name. It's not coming out. Creme brulee. Creme brulee. That's a try. That saved me a little bit. That one is going to be called a try. Surely he has been able to get that one down for the Sale Sharks, and it isn't the man that I said in that situation. It is the man. And the number, turn around, please, sir, has saved me a little bit. No, he's not going to do it. So they are just checking the fun. I did not know where that was an emoji. Oh, I did not know there was an emoji for that as well. Brulee as well. I feel like that sounded so easy. The latest stage is creme brulee. I don't know why together it just doesn't want to happen. Yeah, says Katie Dixon, and also tongue tied. You'll get it as well, says Steve Smith. I mean, I guess it's a perfect example. If at first you don't succeed, just try and say it about 15 times, and eventually someone will sound it out for you, and you will be able to get it. So they are saying here, has he been able to get this ball down? It was very close to the line, and then he kind of ended up sliding forward. So it's just whether or not he has got that one down. There is a hand almost trying to block it. Is it down? I think he's actually got it on his own arm there. The hand under the ball, I think that is going to be considered a no try. Or is it that top of the ball could be down there? Creme Brew, it's a try as well. Says Sebastian. Also, we have got there. I'm an uncle-in-law. I have an uncle-in-law. It's a no try. So I was not wrong in that regard, because it was going to be their number 16 for this one, which was not Tommy Taylor, I believe. That is not Akafanda Mova either. They have got quite a few changes here, the Sale Sharks. They've decided to release a lineup and then go, you know what? We just switch them. At the last moment, Nope Haley defended as well. Says it was Katie Dixon, and also Go Haley in the chat as well. And we have got the I have an uncle in law who's a Quins fan, but is a big Munster convert as well. He wore red when they clashed last season. So I tell you what, you've done well there to convert him. That is for sure. But now driving forward once again, it will be that man in the number 8 jersey for the Sale Sharks, going short side. Looking like a good option here for Cliff. Offloading at Hammersley now, close to the touchline. McGigan is going to be dragged down there, but it's still available for the Sale Sharks. And if they continue like this for the next little while, Adam Coleman is back out on the field as well. We do see now. Now passing it back once again, Manu Tuolangi. Flat ball met there by a good defense from Ben White, but protected on the ground. Kick behind here from the Sale Sharks. Going to be sitting up nicely taken. And Iare makes the tackle on him now. It was actually Rowe. We haven't really seen his name too often in this one either. And also Mighty Munster as well in the chat from Quite Girl. Now passing it back once again. No more Ben, please. I don't want to see that again. Who is Ben? Ben. Oh, there's about 4 Bens. I know it's not Ben Curry because he is off the field, but it could be Ben Donald or it could be Ben White in that regard. But that one has been kicked into the touch now, and Sale Sharks will have this line out throw as well. I didn't have to do anything. He did it all himself as well, says Akana Coin. And I feel like, yeah, it's an interesting one. Munster, they seem like one of those sides. They are going to, I don't want to guarantee too much, but I think they're going to be in the playoffs for the United Rugby Championship, kind of finishing, I would say it's got to be top 2 or top 3 at the end of it. And although United Rugby Championship and Premiership could meet in the Champions Cup, I see nothing wrong with supporting a side from both competitions as well. Says Sebastian, that is a fair point. And I do find that you guys, you all have your kind of favourite teams throughout these competitions that I always end up learning kind of as we go. The likes of Kanakoin, and I know he is a Munster man. Sebastian, he loves a bit of the Harlequins. And also, Steve Smith is a little bit trickier, though. Do let me know which team you support here in the Gallagher Premiership, Steve. Because I guess London Irish, they've got quite a few Australians, but in that regard, not too sure. But do let me know Mighty Munster as well from Quite Girl. So maybe she is a Munster supporter as well. Now it's going to be Adam Coleman getting driven backwards by Hammersley. Very nicely done there by the fullback, but it's going back for the penalty to the London Irish. It's got the in the chat from Kanaka Wayne and also smash that. Says it is Quake. Oh, sorry, smash that like. It is. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel if you are new We are going to be covering plenty more of the Gallagher Premiership. I believe next week we will be having 2 live streams. If I am not wrong there, I believe we will be doing the Leicester versus Saracens game and then also Sale versus Exeter on the Monday night after a big night of live streaming once again. Maybe even try and squeeze in a top 14. We haven't done too many top 14s recently. Is there a top 14 game on tonight? I think there actually is. But I don't think it is one with 2 teams that I really know too well. But now it is going to be going back. Oh, a great run there from it was the number 12 in this one, Hipitema. Nice step there from Paddy Jackson, stepping around as well. Still going Paddy Jackson just outside of the 22, and now London Irish on the attack. It's going to be Adam Coleman. Beautiful offload, quick hands here, and it's a link up on the outside. Ball beautifully on the inside. Curtis Rona getting close to the line as well. It is a great attacking play. No look pass. Close to the touchline. He scored it, and it's going to be the try for Tom Parton. And you got to say he's done well throughout this match so far, and that is now going to give the London Irish the start of a comeback here. For some reason, they've still got the try to Sale Sharks, which did not exist because of the cancellation, but now we will add this one, and Tom Parton able to score that one for the London Irish there, and we're only 46 minutes into the game as well, and we have already had 7 tries. Oh, please tell me he hasn't got his foot on the line. I would be pretty disappointed if he did, but no, it looks like he's going to be completely fine. Oh, no. Oh, is he fine? Did he drop the ball? No, he's got that one. I believe it is in, but they are going to be going upstairs. Just in case here, we're looking for the foot, looking for a foot. Beautifully done, Tom Parton. And he has scored it there. On my screen, it is 19-31 as well. Yeah, they're having a little bit of a shocker. There we go. They have updated it now, and flash score is not right as well, says Katie Dixon. I know, huge surprise there in that regard. And I have no preference for the Premiership teams, to be honest, Sebastian. But I respect most of them. I love watching Wasps versus Bristol's yay. Or I was watching Wasps versus Bristol yay, and I have seen some of the Irish versus Sale Sharks as well. And I have huge respect for Munster as well as this great girl. And best New Zealand player for Munster would be the great Doug Hallett. Missed him dearly in red as well. Or miss him dearly in red, says Kanakoin, and can't say that I'm a big English club, or I'm that big on English club rugby. Probably Exeter Chiefs, just because of Stuart Hogg as well. That is a fair shout as well, Stuart Hogg. So they will be playing up against the Sale Sharks, I believe, is the next game that I did show a little bit earlier on. So that will be an exciting one. If, although they are no Reesodge or not Reesodge, Stuart Hogg will not quite be back. So I'll have to change the thumbnail because I let Isaac do that one last time, and he did have the thumbnail of, unfortunately, it was Stuart Hogg, but he was not there for that game as well. And we have got there, there it is as well, says Katie Dixon. I wasn't right either earlier. I kept getting my players mixed up as well, says Katie Dixon. Oh, that looks better. Go the London Irish, says Quake Girl. And at the end of the day, now, unfortunately, that kick did miss there, but Paddy Jackson kicks it into touch, and he's got a little bit of a round of applause behind him. There will be the number 21. He looks solid for a number 21, surely. Sean O'Brien, what position does he play? Because he is a unit and a half off the bench, but it looks like there's going to be a few more changes being made, which does mean that there's a little bit of trouble for myself because they have been making a whole heap of weird changes, but it is going to be Rod going off the field, Harrison out there, and Oosthuizen making his way out there, and it will be Schronert who is making his way off the field for the Sale Sharks, I should say there as well. Tommy Taylor throwing this ball in just inside of the half of the Sale Sharks, going to the back. Nicely done there. Still on the side, little knock on. So now it will be the line out for the London Irish now, and the momentum is starting to change a little bit in this game. There is only a 12-point difference. If they get themselves one more try here, the London Irish, they will walk away from this game with at least 1 point. Same at the moment for the Sale Sharks, and we have got, come on, London Irish. I want to see a fairy tale like glorious comeback, says Sebastian, and also we have got the NZ Woo. And also it is the Clover and the ball as well there. And Disney moments incoming, says Katie Dixon. And that looks better go London Irish at the moment. And O'Brien going on the field. And that will be Donald making his way off there. So they've actually got a loose forward as their number 21, which is an interesting choice in that regard. So I assume that, have they gone with a 6-2 split maybe? Sean O'Brien is usually a 7 as well, says Kanakoin. And so maybe that's the thing, because I don't really know too many of these players off the bench as well. I guess it does mean that we get ourselves into a situation that's going to be the penalty to the London Irish. So they are working their way forward. So I believe Hugh O'Sullivan and also it is Berhard Janssen van Rensburg who will be coming off the bench at some stage, but he is not too happy at the moment. I believe it was Harrison Let's complain a little bit there. Emoji spam time. Me thinks as well, says Steve Smith with the Kieran, the bump for the try, the ball, the 10, the Billy, the George, the 100, and the New Zealand and South Africa as well that we have got. And we have got plenty of emojis that we have got planned out for the future as well. Although YouTube, they have slightly kind of restricted because I want to do restricted us. I didn't actually finish that sentence because I want to do one, like you mentioned a little bit earlier on. I believe it was you, Steve, who did want to use the top 10 kind of nations as emojis, but they do only let you have a certain number of emojis for the amount of members that you have. So for us to be able to add a few more, I believe we have to sit on a few more members. But we can also, I'm wondering about whether or not I ditch the ball emoji. Now it's going to be Sean O'Brien driving forward because I would like to add the one of me sitting here confused as well, which will probably come in after the limited edition. Once Coleman getting close to the line. I feel like I'm doing two conversations at once. Oh, it's lost forward on the line there for the London Irish. And he has put it down there. We have got the spamming at the moment of the member emojis there. And the Kieran, the bump for the try, the ball, the 10, the Billy, the George. That kind of rolls off the tongue in that order as well. The Kieran, this one's going to be a little bit tougher. The Kieran, the South Africa, the bump for the New Zealand, the try, the 100, the ball, the George. Tell you what, the ball, the George, kind of just flies off the tongue as well. Quite good. I said I've been getting my words muddled lately, probably Alzheimer's as well. I was yelling, go Jill Warden as well when Will Jordan was playing as well. Tell you what, though, when it was that early stage of the match, surely everyone was I was shocked at that time with how quickly they were able to score the try, the All Blacks. I wasn't expecting it. And then from there, it kind of went the other way. And Nkosi was able to score it straight after. And I was thinking we were going to be in for like 30 points apiece for both of the sides as well. The bump for the try, the ball, the 10, the George, or the Billy, the George. I quite like saying that quite quick. Or maybe I should be an auctioneer and try and sell people emojis in that regard. And then I would be able to say them at a rapid pace. But this one was just dropped on the line by the London Irish. They are shown 51 minutes into this game at the moment. And we have got there me when I mix up Munster players with the London Irish players as well, says KT Dixon. I guess it's one of those ones that I've worked out how to pronounce quite a few of the South African names, which right at the start I was unable to pronounce really any of them. So hopefully the Irish names will start rolling off the tongue as well. Although something I cannot do very well is an Irish accent. Unfortunately for me, like every other accent, or no, I'm not going to say every other, but most other accents I'm not terrible at. But for some reason, an Irish accent just doesn't roll off the tongue for me very easily at all. But now it is going to be going to the back of that one. It's a big push there from the London Irish, but still available for the Sale Sharks. Only a few minutes out from the line now, and they will be possibly going for the kickback. They are trying to decide what to do here, and it looks like it will be Cliff who will be rolling it back in emoji dealer. Now that's a new world job as well, says Sebastian. And also we have got there in the chat a few more emojis as well. Do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't think I've asked that for a little while. Out of all of our emojis that we have got on the channel, what one is your, I'll tell you what, we will go top three. Ladies and gentlemen who are members, please do put your top three favorite emojis in the chat right now, and we'll see what everyone is saying for it. I believe the George one might be up there as well, but now it's going to be a backline movement. Curtis Rona with a beautiful fend as well. Offload on the inside. It's been put down again by the London Irish. Try it. I want to hear your Irish accent as well. You know what these emojis, says Katie Dixon as well there, and cheap emojis lol says that quite good. Also, either you can't Hamish or you're not even trying as well. I feel like I always try. It's kind of an interesting one because I always try and go a little bit of up an octave, but I feel like that's not the way to do it. Who's a name? Who's a fun name to say in Ireland in terms of the players? I know that there was one a little while ago. I'm not sure where that came from. The number one is George, 2 is Billy, and 3 is Kieran as well, says Katie Dixon there in the chat. And that is going to be the number 23. He has now made his way out onto the field. Who is he replacing? I'm wondering whether or not it would be Manu Tuolangi maybe that they have decided to take off in this situation. Like they are saying, he hasn't played since February either, so they're given Tuolangi and also this man in the number 23 jersey, Solomona. Yeah, it is Denny Solomona. I was confused for a second at who it was. It's a Warrior, right? I will see whether or not Irish accent. I'm looking for a name. Give me a sentence that I can say with an Irish accent and see whether or not it does roll off the tongue nicely. I'm looking for him. Is it the man in the number 12 jersey? No, it's Ashman. Surely it's not Ashman that they are showing here, though. He is in that back line. I think Manu Tuolangi is actually still out on the field, so I would assume maybe Yade was taken off there. Okay, he's on for Simon Hammersley. So they have replaced him there. But now just on the 22 here for the Sale Sharks. a big push in the front row. They have gone down on this. The far side, it is available to use as well. Going off the back here. First receiver was their number 8 breaking off. Here's a good one. Willie O'Dear. Willie O'Dear? Willie O'Dear? Willie O. Where? I'm trying to think of a good sentence to say because I feel like on the spot it's very tough to do. My Irish accent never rolls. Oh, it's in the air and it's going to be a penalty to the London Irish right. Thinking of Ireland straight away, I will say I apologise for anyone who is Irish and does get offended by this accent. It is not on purpose. It is just I'm not very good at it at all. I'm going to look through. Do I have the Irish lineup from yesterday for Munster? Munster going to be playing. I always end up American, Southern American. Michael Fassbender as well says it was kind of going in, and this is like Brulé, isn't it? Oh, bless as well. Says Quaker, another one. Says kind of going in. So is it Michael Fassbender? Fast. Why am I Southern? Fassbender, Bender. Munster running down the wing now. No, I just feel like I'm embarrassing myself at this stage. I need to work on the Irish accent. Just doesn't quite roll off the tongue. There's a few names that do kind of help out a little bit. Oh, that's going to be a beautiful ball on the short side here. Augustine Creevy getting the carry now. Now I'm well and truly messing up my words, but now it's a big bit of contact here. The London Irish only going to be a few meters out from the line. And are you coming to Europe to watch some games as well, says Mark Dunphy? That would actually be pretty awesome if I was able to go to some of those matchups. Oh, Hamish, you're killing me as well, says kind of going in as well. Yeah, just didn't want to roll off the tongue. For some reason, I end up going American when I do try my Irish accent. It is still available there for White. The ball bounced back, and it's going to be an accidental knock on there. And unfortunately, it was just from that little bit of pressure from JP Dupree. Another breakdown. Your Southern American accent is 10 out of 10. It was for real as well, says Katie Dixon. But yeah, going to Europe, South Africa, and also it was Europe, South Africa, America, and I guess they are the 3 big ones from overseas that I do want to go to watch a game. And then also Australia. Australia, I feel like I can watch more than just rugby, though, while I am over there, if I did go for a little trip a little bit later on. I'm trying to think of other Irish sentence that's had a better accent than I do. I feel like I'm better with my Scottish than my Irish as well. Welsh, I haven't really tried too much. I'm trying to think of what Welsh people say. Nah, I can't think of a single. Why can't I not think of a single word that a Welsh person would say as well? I'm thinking of Nigel Owens is the only thing I can think of. Yeah, I would stay away from that Irish accent, Hamish. It was horrendous as well. Yeah, it is. There is a reason I don't bring it out very often as well, and I think that is possibly the reasoning behind it because it is not good at all. There, all I need to investigate a Kiwi accent is the phrase "fush and chips." Although you got to spell it F-U-S-H, fush and chips, fush and chops. That's the easiest way. Gotta have fush and chops. I actually have fish and chips for tea, which I am very happy about because we talked about it yesterday on the live stream, and then I decided to go through with it as well. You guys know I'm a man of my word, and I decided it was a night for the fish and chips. I only got up at about 7 or somewhere around there, I think. Well, actually, it was around 6, I believe, if I'm not wrong there. Got to sleep at about 11 in the morning after all the live streams. That's going to be now the penalty for the Sales Sharks there. Hi, Hamish, as well. Says David, welcome into the live stream, mate. It is awesome to see you here at 4:30 a.m. What are you doing up, David? Do let me know. But it is awesome to see you here for this live stream, mate. Number 6, Kiwi is 6 as well. Yeah, I guess 6. I guess it's one of those ones you don't realize you're kind of saying it with that accent until people like spell it out and you think about it and you're like, oh yeah, maybe that is how that's a good hit. A good 6. No, it wasn't the number 6. It was actually one of the backs, unfortunately, there. With that good hit. But now London Irish going to be 40 meters out from their own line now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As well as he's going to go in and fish and chips. Oh, yeah, you got the greasies as well. Says Quaker. I'll take a nice there now. It is going to be Wilkinson. And his pants pulled down by the London Irish. That seems to be happening more and more. Our shorts not as tight as they used to be or something. But now Yarde's going to be chasing this box kick. It's going to be an awkward lined up one. And he is complaining, even though he had plenty of time to be able to line it up there. They are going to be going back, and it is going to be the penalty here for, I believe it's going to be the London Irish getting a penalty as well. Deck as well, says Quaker. Of course, when we're saying about building a deck we are actually saying about an outdoor kind of wooden area, I guess you could say, rather than something else. But we have got there. Whenever I do my Kiwi accent, I just try and quote Mega Time Squad, such a good New Zealand comedy as well. Says it, Katie Dixon, and also we have got there in the chat. I see a Munster supporter in the chat. They are dodgy as well. Says Mark Dunphy. Although I will ask you the question, Mark, I wasn't able to name him earlier on. Do you know the name of the number 10 for Munster from the match yesterday? Without looking it up, although I cannot see your computer or your phone or whatever you're watching it on. So I'm trusting that you will not look it up. But do let me know if you know. I took about 5 minutes, and that's not even an exaggeration. I was pretty much gifted every single letter, and I still couldn't get it in that regard. Hey, buddy, as well, says it was David. And also, are you tired of sleeping in a bad bed, a bit in there from Kanakawainen? And also, we have got the veranda type of thing, the deck as well, says Quaker, but now it's going to be an offload available here for the London Irish. Decides to take it to ground instead. It is available for them, though. Only going to be sitting on the 22. Adam Coleman just falling into that one. It was a good tackle from Visa. Now good attacking run from Tuisu, winding up the legs for the first time in the second half. We have seen him with the carry close to the touchline once again, there, number 15, and he was able to score into the later stages. Wide offloads it now, phase after phase here for the London Irish. Tuisu looks like he's going again, trying to drive forward here. And I will read the chat a very short moment. And the chat, Carberry, yeah, he's nailed it there. He does know his sign. Unfortunately, yeah, I wasn't quite able to nail Joey Carberry there. I've got a fluent Scottish accent. Got to repeat myself a lot talking to people in Australia. Ordering at the drive-through is a mission as well, says Steve Smith. So I feel like you're probably more than likely with the... Oh, it's going to be a penalty to Sale Sharks. But I always find, like, now, other than where we are, like anywhere we go, like Uber Eats and everything, like they just, like, I always found it when I went to Melbourne about 3 or 4 years ago, like the fact that you could get Uber Eats just blew my mind, because being from a small town, it's like you got to travel 30 minutes and then kind of get the fast food and then travel 30 minutes back as well. I'm a Leinster supporter, and Carberry used to be a Leinster man as well, says Mark. There you go. Well, you know, in that regard as well. Well, I'm well friend as well, says David. And also we have got there, hey, brother, how you do? Says Katie Dixon there, and the ball, and the London Irish, and the ball there from Katie Dixon there as well. Here we'll have to wait and see whether or not with the last 20 minutes of this game, we can see a couple more tries. And at this stage, London Irish, they need one more to get themselves the bonus point for having 4 or more tries. The Sale Sharks at the moment, they will be wanting to extend this one, see whether or not they can get themselves a try. But by the sounds of it, it's going to be Creevy off the field, and also it will be Simmons also going off the field there, but it's going to be taken nicely by the Sale Sharks. But bit of contact there for Limsa, and also Muffy will be making their way out onto the field now for the London Irish. We have got there Steve Smith, quick girl said, in a Scottish accent, is bloody marvellous to my ears as well. Swoon. I feel like I've said that terribly. I can't think of how to pronounce it in Scottish. Now, Manu Tuolangi trying to break the tackle. That is certainly not a Scottish name. It's going to be a penalty for the for the Sharks once again. Kanakawainen, I'm a Munster man, or is a Munster man. Hope you are well. As well, says Mark Dunphy, and you look rested and rejuvenated as well, says David. I ended up getting about 7 hours sleep. I did squeeze in. I think I went to bed at about 11 a.m., woke up at 6, and then it was rearing to go for another live stream. But this game has certainly been a big help in that regard, because we've already had 7 tries in this one. They are showing Steve Murphy there won the Premiership and top 14 titles as well, so he'll be able to do the same at his club here, the London Irish. Hamish, do you sleep? I do indeed. Normally, though, when it comes to the weekend, a little bit later than the weekend, kind of, I would say Friday, Saturday, Sunday, a little bit of Monday, I end up sleeping during the day, unfortunately. And then my kind of normal days are when the squads are getting announced for the Rugby Championship. They're the ones that I normally bring it back to getting up at around maybe that 12 or so. I've got really weird hours at the moment, but it is just because trying to squeeze in all the hours of sleep while we are also getting in all of our live streams in that regard as well. Taken nicely there by the Sale Sharks once again. They have got 18 minutes left in this one, and we Kiwis, we don't need sleep. We're nocturnal as well. So there's a quite cool, which is, of course, a reference to the Kiwi in that regard. I'm trying to think whether or not I've ever seen a Kiwi in a person. I feel like I probably had. Tuolangi now just getting the leg drive going, almost held up there, but he has been wrestled to the ground. He hasn't been able to score himself a try in this game yet, but will he be able to by the end? I'm going to say yes, just because I want to back him and see whether or not he will be able to get one in his first game back. But now straight in there, the London Irish trying to turn it over the Sale Sharks, and he has been able to get it as well. And it's going to be the penalty for O'Brien. Sean O'Brien it was as well. And we also got there your plight that I despise. Your plight that I despise, Leinster. I'm being serious, Mark. I was part of the fan forums. But came across so many arrogant Leinster folk as well. They always say they'll win. They've had enough of them as well. This kind of going on. Although Mark's all right. We've had Mark on the live streams before. He is a nice enough fellow, indeed there. And that is one thing I think these live streams that I have been doing on the channel as well. Like you guys are always so friendly in the chat as well, which does help out a huge amount. But we have got there with the 100 emojis from David earlier on. I'm wondering, I think I'm going to leave them up right through till after the game between the Springboks and the All Blacks. And then from there, go with maybe, go with adding the Hamish confused emoji as well. But if you guys do want access to those exclusive emojis, it is the pin comment there for $5 New Zealand dollars a month. It gives you access to all of the ones you are seeing in the chat and many more to come in the future, with also a live Q&A that we will be doing with an ex-All Black. Wayne Barnes, he's having a drink of, is that water? They've got quite a little bit of a label on it. I think it is some electrolytes. Keep that man going at the moment. Oh, yeah, I've got there as well. I'm teasing you, kind of going in. It's just sibling rivalry as well, says Mark. At this stage, Wayne Barnes, he has had to run around, I should say, quite a few times as well. Mark and I, two Leinster fans, you don't have to worry about kind of going in. We just want to be your friend as well. And also, we have got their bit hard in text. Quake Lassie would be a start as well. Lassie. No, that's not quite Scottish. I can say Scottish, but that's about it, really. I've just got Scottish. And the Arsenal, tell you what, that's going to be a good run there. For the number 14 here, Rowe getting another carry. And now around the side, London Irish, big it there from Manu Tuolangi to be able to slow them down. But the London Irish, if they get themselves one more try here, they are right back in this contest. Round the side, once again, it will be their replacement, Mike Willemser. Getting closer and closer here, the London Irish edging closer to Alan Dell, getting driven backwards in the tackle by the Sale Sharks as well. Who will be able to score it? That's a big question. It looks like it will be once again their replacement there. Driving for Willemser. 5 phases and Coleman. Big strike on him to drive him backwards, and they just haven't quite been going anywhere with the big forwards, but that was a beautiful offload, and now they need quick recycle ball here for the London Irish, and now Sale Sharks just diving in their player, leaving the feet. He's going up in the air. Tom Tucker is doing his acrobatics in there, but now Sean O'Brien driven backwards there once again. 10 phases in now, and it is still going to be available for the London Irish. I've already the chat in a very short moment as well, but round the side, going down still 10 meters out, 10 phases in. The London Irish with 16 minutes here to work, and surely the defence cannot stop them for that long. It's a penalty to the Sale Sharks. As well, I've got there, I'll take Quake Lassie as well. Says it Quake Girl in there. And also we have got there, they are always bad supporters on both sides. I don't take them seriously, but I know you aren't bad as well, says Mark Dunphy. And you've also got there Kanako in, I know from lots of live streams, good Jappy as well, says Mark. And also we have got there, you both are fine, lads. You're 10 times better than the Clowns I've come across. They still want Johnny Sexton to play at 10 and green, but we're meant to move on from him as well, says Kanako in. And I have heard, is Joey Carberry the one who's supposed to be playing at number 10 in the future? Maybe. And he is actually Munster man, now that I know number 10, the only number 10 that I couldn't name. And at this stage, Adam Coleman is the man who got penalised there, unfortunately. In fairness to Johnny Sexton, his kicking is still top-notch, honest opinion, as well, says Sebastian. And also we have got their worst supporters of any code, Millwall as well. Jeepers, they are a bit serious, says Great Girl there. But at this stage, our 12 minutes left in this game to show what this could do to the table with whoever is going to be able to get this one. I will quickly make sure that is updated. Yes, we are up to 64. So looking through the table, whoever wins this game will be able to move up very nicely indeed. The London Irish, they need this win, and it will push them right up to finishing more than likely in around 7th for after the round, maybe even 6th if they are able to get the bonus point as well. And then you've also got, if the Sale Sharks can get this one, they've already got the bonus point, so they would move right up onto 9. But I'm not sure whether or not they will win this game by more than 17 points to be able to leapfrog the side at the moment, Northampton, who are sitting on 9. Also, we have got there Joey Carberry is supposed to be the future, but Prince Harry will be there as well, says Mark Dunphy. And the chat, but it's still going to be available here off the line out. He is trying to roll out there by the looks of it. Sale Sharks, it is available for them to be able to put up this high, but we haven't really seen too much box kicking in this game, and it has been one of those ones that they've just been continuing to play at a frantic pace. I believe it is actually Gus Ware. Now it's going to be going high. It's going to be taken. Oh, it's a beautiful take there from Rowe. It was almost AFL like he was sitting up on Yarde by a little while. And now there's an advantage for a player getting taken off the ball. And there's a bit of push and shove off the ball as well. And it looks like he is going to be retaliating a little bit on the player. So he could end up getting this one reversed, depending on how it goes. But it was taken beautifully by Rowe. And he just sat on the back there of Yarde for a little while. What a beautifully taken kick there. But now I believe they are calling over the captains just to see whether or not there was anything that was serious enough off the ball. We have got there, Johnny, I think, is subscribed to the Tom Brady school of thought as well, was to play up until he's considered too old and beyond as well. And hi, brother, from David there. And at the and hello, David, says Sebastian there as well. There is a man off the field. Is he in the bin? Oh, he will. Okay, they're going to be down to 14 men now, Sale. And I believe it was Ross who did get the penalty there, and he is not a happy man at the moment. Definitely not with the crowd just behind him, but they don't seem to be yelling out too much. And I don't think you want to, John O'Ross. He's a bit of a unit there. Ben Healy from Munster might be good as well, says Mark Dunphy. And Munster have a young fly half as well. And also we have got there, that means nothing Seb as well. His World Cup 2019 form was a reminder of why we were never going to win it. As well, we are stuck in the past. And says a quiet girl there, but now it's going to be the rolling maul for the London Irish. They are sitting currently only 15 metres out, and they are lurking towards the line. It's going to be available for them to use once again. And it's going to be passed back. Hugh O'Sullivan, nice backline movement, link up play. This is going to be the try for Parton. Tuolangi not able to stop him. And it's a try to the London Irish. And now they are getting right back into this game, ladies and gentlemen. And for the second time, Tom Parton has been able to score himself a try. And they have still got the man advantage for the later stages of this game. Are we going to get to see a hat trick in this one? We will have to wait and see, but Tom Parton has been able to score the second try of the match as well. Yeah, I've got there as well. Try in the chat from Katie Dixon. And oh, please, yes, as well. And we have got the try emojis. And there as well with the clapping from Quake Girl. And also, I guarantee you, the Leinster Ross / Harry Burnett 10 as well. And fans myself furiously with a tortilla as well, says Katie Dixon for that one. But do let me know. Actually, I will check the poll because we did start a poll at the start of this game. Sale Sharks, 53% of you have said that they will win this match. 4% have said a draw as well. Maybe they won't be too far off depending on whether or not this kick goes over. If this kick goes over, it would mean that it would be maybe a draw off the table. But if Paddy Jackson doesn't get this one, he hasn't got this one. So now the score, is it going to be a draw? Tell you what, a draw really wouldn't suit either team, but they've both got the bonus point on the board. So they would actually get 3 points apiece for that one. Game on as well, says Steve Smith. It is indeed. And tell you what, with the man advantage as well, this back line was brilliant from the London Irish. It was quick, it was pacey, and because of it, Tom Parton was able to score a second of the match as well. Try with the balls from David as well, with the ball emojis, I should say. And in that regard, but now Rogerson going to be coming off the field for the London Irish. They're making a few late subs. Can they do enough here to be able to get themselves a last-minute victory? Tell you what, it would be a comeback and a half. I'm trying to think of what the score was at half-time. It was around 14 points to 28, or was it actually 31? Have Sale, I don't think Sale has scored any points in the second half. I could be wrong in that regard. That was a crunching tackle there from Ross Harrison on the London Irish player, but they are going to be now 15. That's a lie. 25, 20. They're actually 20 metres out for their line. I'm just making up numbers at this point. Going high, taken nicely there by the replacement, Danny Solomona. Good low tackle on him, though, on the halfway line and straight on the ball for the London Irish. But it's a penalty as well. And now they will be able to kick it for the corner. Danny Solomona having that one ripped away. And I believe it was actually Oliver Hoskins, if I'm not wrong, who was able to get that one. Harry Byrne is better in attack than his brother as well, which I believe his brother is Ross, if I'm not wrong there. Whoop, whoop. We have got it as well. But if you need to close the game out, there it is. Ross Byrne as well as the next slide down is the guy. But chasing Harry Byrne as well, says Mark. And then also, I think you can't even be resentful with 3 points. It's quite rare, but cool as well, says Sebastian. And how much longer are the Sharks down a man? They will be down to only the 14 men out on the field for the next 8 minutes or so. So they have still got plenty of time here, the London Irish, to work. And the Sale Sharks, they are showing their manager or their coach at the moment. He's looking a little bit nervous at the moment, not looking too happy with the boys out on the field. But now it's going to be Mike Willemser now putting this ball down the middle. Brilliant line-out throw. No, it's gone too far. It was that good that it was just continuing to go, and it is going to be on the side now with the Sale Sharks available for them. Only are going to be 25 metres out from their own line, and it looks like it will be Gus Ware who is going to be passing it back. Just trying to set it up. Visa with a good carry. And it does create the angle as well. We have also got here's a question for you, Cody. If you do with the sport you call football in the US, and as well, so he's going to go in and it's to do with the sport, sorry. And then 8 minutes of hope as well. So he's quite good. And at the moment, it is 8 minutes of being on the edge of the seat, because now it's going to be a counter attack from the Sale Sharks. They are going to be sitting only around 45 meters out, and the territory battle has almost gone the way now of the London Irish. Kicking behind now, trying to find the bit of space. Cliff is going to be sitting up Yardley, not able to take it nicely, and it is going to be knocked on. And it's available now for the London Irish, or is it a knock on? They haven't actually said it's an advantage. So now that's going to be a penalty, is it? No, just a knock on advantage is the call there. I'm actually rooting for another London side. I don't know what's happening as well. Says Sebastian there. At this stage, they are just, everyone loves a comeback in one of these games, that is for sure. This game's been that back and forth, and Sale with the lead that they had. No one expected it to go any differently. Come on, London Irish as well, says Steve Smith. But also, we have got their white dust. Every single play have a stoppage. Other players unfit as well, says Kana Coin, and I assume that it's for their football as well. And we have got their, hey, I don't know, I don't name the sportsman. Don't take out on me as well. Says it was Katie Dixon there, but now Yarre going to be going forward with the ball, maybe in the later stage of this game, depending on whether or not he gets it in hand. He hasn't really had a chance with it in the second half so far, and it is going to be a scrum feed now for the London Irish. And we have got 7, that's a lie, 8.5 minutes. Tell you what, my maths has gone out the window here. And we have got there. I was in New Zealand a couple of times. 2005 Lions and 2011 Rugby World Cup. So Ireland beat Australia in Eden Park. Was amazing. Love the country and the people. I did get stuck on Kiwi slang as well. It is very easy to do. As soon as you get yourself a helping of fish and chips, you are a glorified Kiwi in that regard. But now it's going to be a drive here for Sale Sharks going short side. It's a little bit high, almost a seatbelt tackle in that one. But now they're going to be 30 meters out. They're in the shade as well. Offloading it back, Manu Tuolangi just on the arm. He hasn't really had too many opportunities with the ball in hand either. It looks like more than likely they will go out to the wingers if they decide to use that back line. But Manu Tuolangi, he's just slowing down a little bit, and he will have to really dig it in for the last kind of 7 to 8 minutes of this game. It's good defense here, driving Langdon backwards. He has been told to release him. They can't give away a penalty here, the London Irish. If they give away that penalty, we'll end up in this situation. Beautiful sell of the dummy there, and he is driving forward once again. Wilkinson going still, and they are up to the 22 now. Going out to the right-hand side, they have got numbers on the outside. It's going to be almost offloaded by Solomoni. The ball was hit down. He is playing the ball on the ground, though. So it is going to be a penalty, because he played it on the floor. Just 2 more tries from London Irish. That's all we want. Is not too much to ask for as well. Says Steve Smith and Mark. Great games I have seen as well, and pretty high-scoring games in the Premiership always. And they've always been a joy to watch as well, says Sebastian. And that is a good point, because at the end of the day, that first game that I witnessed of the Gallagher Premiership season, it was Bristol Bears versus Saracens, and there was 1 try, and I was like, this seems like not how I remember. But then from there, we've been ramping it up big time, and we have plenty of tries that we have been able to see over the last little while. That's the main reason I drifted away from American football for the most part, mate. When a 2-hour game gets stretched out to 4 hours, it's about money as well. Says Katie Dixon and 05 Lions. And there, we were thrashed first time I saw Dan Carter, and what a player as well. And they're all, Tuolangi was taken out off the ball there. No, he wasn't, and now it's going to be Parton kicking it down and behind if this one finds the touchline, but it will not now. 22 inside of the 22, I should say, and that is going to be a good kick downfield by the Sale Sharks, but Wilkinson not able to find the touchline. So now the London Irish with the counter attack. They have got 6.5 minutes left now, and it's going to be the step. We've hardly mentioned their man in the number 11 jersey for this match. Unfortunately, second Gary, like they've mentioned, Paddy Jackson just tried to throw it back on the inside to keep it in the field of play, and it has been ripped away, and it is now going to be available for the Sale Sharks once again, 40 meters out from their own line. It's almost becoming a game of survival at the moment for them indeed. Also, the ridiculous abundance of commercials as well. It's another penalty to the London Irish. They are not closing out this game now, ladies and gentlemen, because they are going to be in a little bit of trouble. They're marching for 10. They are marching for 10. This is getting interesting. Are we going to get to see the first draw of the Gallagher Premiership this year coming up soon? We will have to wait and see. I believe it was actually the big man, maybe Corny Oosthuizen, who did end up saying something. Super Bowl ads, I mean, as well, says Sebastian. And also, we have got the I've tried so hard to watch AFL, I assume that is. American football. Are they taking the piss with all the stoppages as well? Says Great Gill. And I really tried to watch highlights of an NFL game, especially last year's Super Bowl, sorry. Couldn't handle the stoppages. The well says kind of going in, and also get me started on the ad brace as well. Says that kind of going in there. But now it is going to be penalties conceded. 15 against the London Irish, 13 against the Sharks. There's been a lot of them throughout this game. Adam Coleman taking that one nicely, though. And they are going to be not too far out from the line now. The London Irish marching their way forward. It is still the same rolling maul, and they have got about 7 men committed. Can they keep it going forward here? They're going to be about 10 metres out. They have still got quite a wee way to go, and it is going to be in that situation. The halfback, he is calling for everyone to get into there. Hugh O'Sullivan saying everyone needs to get over here. They have been told to use it once. He is telling the big man to push. He is not pushing himself, though. And now it is going to be breaking off the back. I believe it's going to be O'Brien. He is going to be tackled there by Ruben Birch. I think that is Ruben Birch, actually, for that pronunciation there. Now it's going to be Murphy passing it back across field. They need to try and survive here. Sale Sharks, but breaking through once again, the London Irish. Sitting 10 metres out now. Hugh O'Sullivan once again passing it back. Getting closer and closer for the London Irish. Is this going to be the try that can get them back into this game? Number 12 hitting the ball up once again. It's all wide. Almost cut out pass. It's taken beautifully there by their number 11, who is just trying to fend off everyone at the moment. Protected very nicely by the London Irish. Phase after phase. Once again, they are sitting 15 metres out. O'Sullivan passes it back now. They've got men on the outside. A huge overlap. It's a draw and pass, and it's a try to Curtis Rona. And now that could be what they needed to get back to a kind of even play. I'll tell you what, this is a game and a half, ladies and gentlemen, for a Monday morning at 5 a.m. At the moment, we are sitting, but Curtis Roney has scored the try at what cost, he looks like. He is going to be staying down, but we're going to have to add that name to the try scorers list. Curtis of the Rona hasn't been able to score that one. He is an Australian, and he has just done very nicely. It looks like he's injured himself, but we're back to almost an even playing field. It is going to be a kick to come here for the London Irish to see if they can get it back. Try as well, says Steve Smith in there. And also, American football to me is like 30 seconds of play and 5 minutes of ads and sitting on the bench drinking Gatorade. And a repeat, rugby is solid 80 minutes of entertainment as well, says Steve. And also, we have got there and bugger all the padding as well. It was a quite cool a little bit earlier on. It's happening, people, says Sebastian in the chat as well. I know, try, says Katie Dixon. Tell you what, this is an important kick for Paddy Jackson. Hasn't been kicking brilliantly throughout this game. This is a tough kick for him. Straight down the middle, and you saw it from the man who handed him the tee. You could see the cheer in the background like that, and he is just telling him all about it in his ear. You're doing a good job, mate. But at the stage now, 31-31. For it to be only 2.5 minutes left of this one. Are you a student, Hamish, or still in school? I have finished my high school, but I'm in that kind of gap period of whether or not, like, I've kind of been looking. I didn't end up going to university straight away because I kind of took a gap. Yeah, now I'm in that kind of in between stage. So I'm kind of doing, I guess you could say, YouTube full time, but it's kind of one of those ones that may have to look for some other form of employment at some stage coming up. Oh, heck, this game is exciting as well, says Great Girl. And now at this stage, they're making a last-minute sub. I believe it is Curtis Roney. He looks like he can hardly run. Oh, no, it's actually going to be Hippotema, who they did take off the field there, bring on the drop goal shoulder. And as well, says Sebastian, and at the moment, it is going to be in the hands of the London Irish. They are sitting 25 metres out now from their own 22. And you nailed it. And that's why I had to stop watching. It was torture as well to watch 4 hours of nothing. Great gap years are great. I went traveling as well, says Mark Dunphy. Unfortunately, my gap year, sadly, we ended up in that situation of travel kind of got restricted relatively quickly. Oh, okay, at this stage now, it is going to be 40 metres out. Going to the short side. Oh, it's a big bump off there from Manu Tuolangi. We are sitting only a minute and a half left in this game, ladies and gentlemen. Who is going to be able to score the final one? Kiwi lads should score. No, it's not. Kiwi lads should score. That wasn't what it was going to be. But now we are only sitting. It's a penalty to the London Irish. And there is a frustration cry from Gus Ware there. And we have got the other game as well, says Katie Dixon. And also we have got the Kiwi lads should live stream a Bucks game one day. I'll be into that as well, says David. I don't actually know too much about American football overall, so I feel like people will laugh at me big time. But it could be kind of fun to see how it goes as well. What a comeback as well, says Great Girl. What are you going to study at varsity, Hamish? as well, says David. I think it was kind of originally, I was in that kind of not too sure stage, which is almost why I ended up going for that gap year, just because I didn't quite commit to it. Because I know that one of the other Kiwi lads, Daniel, he actually went to university, but he pulled out after round about half of the first year. And the reason for that is he kind of rushed into something that he didn't actually want to do. So George never went to university, and I was the same. But George has done a course and the kind of process that's going to be drop ball there. And now it's going to be available for the Sale Sharks. Surely we aren't going to draw. Tell you what, Oosterhuizen now just driving his way forward for the Sale Sharks. 30 seconds left, ladies and gentlemen, at this stage. And at this game, we are still sitting 31-31 as well. 50 meters out. There is no way of kicking that one from this far out. They've just got to keep this ball. And like they are saying, the London Irish need to keep the discipline. This is actually in Paddy Jackson's range as well. If they were able to win a penalty 50 meters out, he attempted one from 53 in the earlier stages or the late stages of the first half, I should say. Now, once again, it's going to be available for them to use here, the Sale Sharks. And I have to say, with the comeback that they have been able to have already, the London Irish, you would feel bad for them if they weren't able to get over the line. That's a massive bump off there with a great run there for the Sale Sharks. 45 minutes out now, phase after phase, 7 in. Once again, the ball is going to be hit up. 2 of the backs are actually committed into that breakdown, trying to protect the ball for their side, going back across field. Breaking tackles, keeping the discipline. It's going to be a penalty. And it's going to be the player leaving his feet as well. George must have done a course in smugness as well, says a fashion. Also, we have got there the plays they call them ultra confusing as well. Says going to come in, and also we have got the I definitely enjoy college level football more than pro as well, says Katie Dixon. But then I guess going back to that kind of comment about what am I going to study? I guess from what I've done with this YouTube channel, I've always enjoyed the process of editing and recording videos. What has just happened here? What has just happened? Paddy Jackson is taking on a kick from about 60 meters out now. Oh, no, he's going to be, okay. Paddy Jackson here, 58 meters out or so for the win in this match. I'm nervous for him because he was missing a few earlier on. So this is a massive moment for him. If he can get this one, London Irish will win this game. If not, whether or not this ball goes far enough will determine if this game is going to be over. But the London Irish crowd, they have gone silent. Can they get themselves a comeback win from being about 16 points down? Paddy Jackson strikes it. It's got the distance. It's got the distance. It's hit the post. It's hit the post and bounced back in the field of play. And they are going to be kicking the ball out there by the looks of it. The Sale Sharks, it hasn't found touch. It hasn't found touch. Oh, now it's a knock on. No, it's going to be at the end of the game, and it's a 31-31 draw. What a moment, eh? Tell you what. That one went down to the wire. I think that's the most on edge that I've been at the end of the match. But ladies and gentlemen, it hit the post for Paddy Jackson. Then from there, he tried to find touch with a kick. London Irish or Sale Sharks, sorry. They said, nah, we're not having any more of it. And then they were like, we'll kick that ball into touch, and then didn't find touch. But then there was just that knock on. And because of it now, means that it is going to be 31-31. So that actually doesn't benefit either side. They will both receive 3 points because of the fact that they both got the 1 point for being 4 tries or more and draw as well, says Mark. And also it hit the post no way as well, says Sebastian. And also that's why we both love rugby, fam, as well, says Steve Smith there. And no, says quite good in the town. Well, London Irish so close as well. And you got to say, the way that they played in that second half, it almost seemed like they deserve to get that comeback. Oh, that was crazy. Oh, I'm shook as well, says Katie Dixon. And also we have got there about American football or about George as well, says Katie Dixon there in the earlier stages. I think I missed one. So stadium is quiet as a grave as well, says Katie Dixon. And also we have got there that's such an unpopular opinion from across the pond, but it'll help. I can't help but love it as well. And first year of varsity is free, so no loss to George as well, says David. And also we have got there in the chat as well. Football is epic and massive, says David. And also in the chat, we had a lot of nervous people for the later stages of that one. 31-31. Ben White, Augustine Creevy, Tom Pardon scoring 2 tries for the London Irish. And then that last minute try, Curtis Rona, almost was what they needed to get back into this one. AJ McGinty Marlon Yare, also Sam James, I should say, and Will Cliff was able to score as well. And I'll just say here, not sure who did it, but 4% of you out of the 57 votes, 5% have now just said that it is going to be a draw, and you are 100% correct in that regard, because it was indeed a draw between those two sides, and what was just an edge of the seat encounter at the end of it. Old Club London Irish as well, says David. And also, I must have missed what you said, mate. The only message that I see you talking about, George, sorry, my laptop is like 4 years old and it books out all the time. Excellent live stream, Hamish. Thanks as well, said Mark Duffy. No, I was about to say no, thank you. Also, yeah, thank you very much, mate. Hugely appreciate you being here for this one as well. And what was just a very, very close game on a Monday night. A Monday night of rugby as well. What a weekend of rugby. All the highs and lows as well, says Quake NZ. And what we will do before the end of this live stream, we'll get up some stats to do with this match. But they were leading 31 points to 14 at halftime. So they didn't score a single point in that second half, the Sale Sharks. But they were somehow able to keep that draw alive. This is one of the best live streams ever on this channel. How crazy as well, says Katie Dixon. Yeah, the rugby was insane in this game, that is for sure. It was certainly a high-scoring one. Kept me awake throughout that whole one as well, and what a way to finish the game as well. But so far, 59% of the possession was in favour of the Sale Sharks. 5 tries for them, or 5 tries for, it was the London Irish. 4 tries for Sale in this one as well. Defenders been in 26 defenders beaten for the London Irish here. 8 clean breaks, 5 defenders beaten for the Sale Sharks, and then also 2 clean breaks for them in that regard. Steve Smith, once again, thank you very much. Like, cheers, Hamish. Another stream etched in gold, brother, as well. And I really appreciate that donation. And also, all your donations over the weekend. It was extremely generous from yourself. I remember Mum's reaction when she saw that one that you did at the start of the Wallabies. Boomer, she almost dropped a swear word when she saw it came through. But yeah, very much appreciated, mate, for your support there. We have got there. It's just that you don't admit, or that you admit, that the NFL is massively about the money and the man, not the team. But it's now every day you hear something like that from an American as well, says Sebastian. And also we have got there, Steve, you are a champ, says great girl. He is indeed. And Steve Smith, dollar signs, and the dollars there as well. And also heard Ireland versus USA is off. Was meant to be the first game in Vegas, new stadium. I guess the odds weren't in our favour. How ironic as well, says Kana Coin. And so, yeah, I'm not too sure how many games, because I know that the 7 circuit is one that we need to look at in terms of the amount of cancellations. I believe the next competition is going to be in Dubai, and that is in December. I believe it's the day after my birthday, if I'm not wrong there as well. But missed tackles in this game. Neither side really missing too many tackles in that second half. 112 made by the Sale Sharks, 8 missed tackles there in that regard. And Stephen Legend says it was Sebastian there as well. And also we have there, I see, it's so obvious that it's about the money for the NFL. Anyone who says otherwise is deluding themselves as well, says Katie Dixon. Yeah, which I guess if you do have that many ads running kind of throughout it, it is tough because of the fact, like you mentioned, they are very long games. So for me, like, I want to be able to watch like some of them, but then they're always on in the middle of the night. And I always end up kind of doing rugby ones as well. But I absolutely love these ones. And tell you what, if any other games next week are anything like this one right here, we are going down to the wire as well. Oh, man, I'm going to have to look that up as well. And there from Katie Dixon. But what I am going to quickly do is I'm going to look at the fixtures. London Irish, Sale Sharks, 31 apiece in this game. Discipline, not ideal for either side. Someone had -2 running meters for Marcel van der Merwe. That is unfortunate on the stats. Other than that, we haven't really got any huge carry meters coming through on the stat sheet. 14 tackles made by Visa with the 1 turnover 1. Also 14 made by Tommy Taylor, 11 made by Ben White with the 2 turnovers 1. He is probably close to my man of the match in that regard, the way that he played throughout this one. And also we have got there, does Vegas have any professional sports team apart from the Golden Knights in the NHL? Says Sebastian. That is another thing that I would quite like to have a look at, is the NHL. A little bit of hockey. I do play NHL on Xbox, but me and Dad, we pretty much just go around whacking people, is I guess the best way to describe it. We're not really skilled in the individual kind of sides of shooting and whatnot. We just pretty much just try and knock people's helmets off. And afraid so. Travel restrictions seem to that as well, says Kanakoin. And so what I am doing at the moment is I am loading up the live table as we are sitting now after that game of the Gallagher Premiership. The next one is going to be next week, and we are going to be covering it more than likely on the channel as well. The first game is Bristol Bath, and unfortunately that one we are not going to be covering on the channel, as it is a very early morning start here in New Zealand. But the ones on the second round we are going to be. I've got to turn my brightness up. How high do you guys have your brightness on your phone? Do let me know, because I'm actually actually that makes sense, because I'm normally on it at like the middle of the night. I always have it on real low brightness type thing. And there we go. But the London Irish, they move up onto 4 points now on the table, and also moving up to 5th place. It is going to be Sale, who are sitting on 7. So they have had a win and a draw, but they are still sitting on the same points as Worcester as well. We have got there. We love ice hockey here as well, says Sebastian. And then Exeter, Bristol, both still sitting at the bottom of the bunch after the second round. But I am also going to look up when the Harlequins play Leicester, because that is a game that someone was mentioning a little bit earlier on, in terms of one that they really want to see. And I really hope it's on Sky for us to be able to watch it as well. We're looking through. It is the Harlequins versus Bristol. That's a big game in a couple of days. Or not a couple of days, sorry, a couple of weeks. Then Harlequins play Sale. Then Harlequins play Bath. Then Harlequins, they are playing Saracens. Geez, they've got a lot of good games. Coming up, Harlequins play the Wasps, round 9. They are going to be playing the London Irish. Is it going to be the last game? Harlequins, Leicester, 5th of December. That is also going to be just after my birthday. I say probably 40% in terms of brightness as well, says Sebastian there. Here's the thing. Nevada's population consists of the population of Las Vegas, and the rest of the state is just sand. Not enough people for lots of sports things as well, says Katie Dixon. And also pretty high, says Kanakawainen, for his brightness on the phone. And grass hockey, as better out ice hockey, looks madly insane, though, as well, says Quake Girl. Yeah, let's go there. Isn't Reno in Nevada as well? I might be mistaken, though, says Sebastian there. But what we are going to be doing a little bit later on today, for you guys who are keen, who do follow that Kiwi Lads gaming channel, we are going to be doing a gaming live stream. Me and George, we are deciding, I believe it's going to be either GTA or Far Cry 5 that we will be playing. That will be tomorrow, or today, actually, because we're 5 a.m. at the moment here in New Zealand. We will be going at around 8 p.m. New Zealand time, somewhere around there, or somewhere close by to that mark is when we are going to be doing that one. The games of the Rugby Championship at 8:05 or 11:05? That's my big question. Steve, if Steve is still here, Steve here, if you are still here, Steve, what time is it at the moment in Perth? Is it still sitting at 1:07 a.m. or did you guys have daylight saving, which would actually mean that you'd be sitting at a different time, or you'd be sitting at 1:07 if you had daylight saving? Without it, I assume you're sitting at 12 at the moment, midnight there? Do let me know. I am curious, because daylight saving has really messed with my brain in terms of what times everything is on at the moment. Yes, Reno is like other Las Vegas as well, says Katie Dixon there. But I am just looking through at other games that we are going to get to see for the United Rugby Championship, as another competition that we are going to be covering a little bit on the channel as well. And I've been to Nevada, mate, loved it as well in it there from David Davis. So it is going to be on Saturday morning, the Scarlets versus the Lions, and also the Bulls versus Connacht. Why is everything on a Saturday morning? For some reason, they have decided that is the best time to do it. And then Munster versus the Stormers, that is going to be on Sunday morning at 7:35. That's an early morning one. Daylight saving as well, and it is 12:07 on my phone as well. Okay, so you're now 5 hours behind us. Right. That is good to know. So that means you are 5, KG is 9, Sebastian is tough to remember. I think he's 10 hours or 8 hours ahead. Sebastian, morning at the moment. Morning at the moment, mate. Do let me know. I think Romania is the time zone that I've really struggled with, I think, out of all of these ones the most. So pretty much any game that was starting at 12 for the United Rugby Championship now starts at 1. No, that doesn't make sense. That's the other way around. I think I've got that muddled, but that's all right. We will slowly learn all the time zones as well. We have got there. I know that the comedian Jim Jeffries once proposed that the Reno should be bombed as well, says Sebastian. And also we have got there in a nice what part. Says Katie Dixon, Paul, David. Hamish is 18 hours ahead of New Mexico, and Reno is like Las Vegas in an apocalypse as well, says Steve Smith. And so 18 hours ahead of New Mexico. Normally I think I've got a method for it that's a little bit different. 7 p.m. So it's evening. 9 hours behind New Zealand, 2 hours ahead of the UK, and an hour ahead of South Africa. So if you're sitting, okay, so now you're 10 hours behind due to daylight saving, I believe, if I'm not wrong, because we are sitting 5 a.m. at the moment. So that's 10 hours for Romania. Katie Dixon, I always work on the theory for America. I used to just minus 6 hours and then add a PM or an AM. So you'll be sitting 17 hours ahead now. Maybe. Yeah, 17 hours ahead. Steve is still sitting around midnight in Australia. And then pretty much other than that, my brain is scrambled. South Africa is around that same mark. It's dark again. It's a little bit dark outside, but that's all right. We are still good to go for probably sleeping. Sleeping's probably the best thing to do while it is dark outside, but the moon is out. It is a lovely night indeed here in New Zealand. We haven't had too much of the rain. My brain stopped working. I always find this for like a late night live stream when it's the last one. All of a sudden, I go from like commentary to just all of a sudden just almost like I've jumped out of a plane and then I've parachuted. The parachute's open and then my feet touch the ground. And then you kind of, when you get to that like, stage as well. Too late now as well, says Steve Smith. And also, we have got there in the chat, Las Vegas mate as well. We've also got, I'd like to play poker in a Vegas casino, or I'd love to play poker in a Vegas casino once. I play a lot of poker anywhere as well, says Sebastian. And also we have got there, did you stay on the strip? I went with my baby cousins in 2008, and we stayed at the Circus across from the Hilton as well. It was exactly like the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas as well. And are you in South Africa? He is in Romania for his location there for Sebastian. I'm slowly working my way through all the time zones. Saggy Balloon stage as well, says a great girl there. And I'm off, guys. Epic chat with you guys as well, says kind of cool. And no worries, mate. But thank you very much for tuning into the live stream. It has been awesome this weekend. We've had a lot of support from you guys, and we have got plenty more coming for the future weekend. Also, like I mentioned, Kiwi Lads gaming live stream tomorrow night. Tonight now. Not now, but tomorrow. Later, 14 hours or 15 hours time. It's when that one will be firing up. Romania, Transylvania, to be more accurate as well. Says Sebastian, have a good one, mate. Says Katie Dixon. But yeah, nonetheless, I think I went through all of the stats. They have actually still said that the game's 77 minutes down, but now they have finished updating it. Hopefully they've got some player stats that are better than -2. No, we don't. The most running meters in this one was Manu Tuolangi. We ended up having 31 running meters, 8 carries, and also 1 defender beaten. Yare, 26, 5 carries, and 3 defenders beaten for him. 26, 5 defenders beaten, 6 defenders beaten for Kyle Rowe as well. He hardly had the ball, and Ollie lost 4 meters. So George, before this match, told me London Irish number 11, Ollie Hazel-Collins, is the man to watch. And unfortunately, he touched the ball twice today, but I'm sure he'll touch it more in the future. Where the Vampires come from as well, says Katie Dixon. Stayed in the cool hotel on the main strip, says it was David as well. And you too, and with you too, kind of coined in as well, says great going. Except the Vampires for me, or like me, we came from Pennsylvania, not Transylvania as well, says Katie Dixon. And nice, isn't it? Crazy, or nice. It's a crazy place, isn't it, as well? Romania, well, says David Dan as well, with the vampire emoji from Sebastian. Yeah, at least I think we are getting close to the end of this live stream. Hopefully, you guys have all enjoyed it. If you are new, which I'm not sure whether we've got anyone new at the moment, but all of you guys who have, I feel like you've already pressed the like button. I feel like I'm kind of stumped in terms of what to say. If you haven't already, be sure to vote in that poll with the draw, because I think a few more people have updated it. No, still 5% for that one. But London Irish sitting on 46% in the end, almost able to fight it back. But nonetheless, I think we are at the end of this live stream. Thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And we will see you all possibly later on tonight, 14 or so, 15 hours time, for a Kiwi Lads gaming live stream with myself, George, and maybe even an Isaac and a Daniel. But we will see you all for the next one.